let's go on. Everything turn it on YouTube. What's good, everyone joining the stream here on TikTok? What's up, everyone joining it on YouTube? How's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing? Hopefully everyone is having a good day so far. Hopefully everyone is having a good day so far. Let me make sure I have everything put in the chat real quick. Alrighty. There we go. What's good, everyone joining in the stream? Give it a second for people to join up. We hit 420,000 subscribers on YouTube, everyone. What's good, everyone joining in? What's up? Is Parker elevated? No, I'm not. What's good, everyone joining in? Only send a guest request if you do meet the set of criteria that I have listed on the TikTok screen. What's good, everyone joining in? What's up? 420,000 subscribers. Well, why aren't you elevated? Because my throat still is like a little bit weird after being sick. Like, I still wake up every morning with it feeling a little weird, so I'm definitely not doing that there. And also, I'm trying to limit how much I do it, to be honest. Change that thumbnail. It looks like a memorial service photo. Really? What do you mean? I literally it's just my face. It's just literally my profile picture. Okay. It's just my profile picture in the beginning of the stream. That's why. What's good, everyone joining in? Do give it a second for people to join up. We're going to start getting some debates in a second. Did anyone else see the clip of Donald Trump saying that affordability is a Democrat scam after saying he was the affordability president? Did anyone see that? That was kind of funny. That was really funny, I'm not going to lie. Crazy, right? Crazy. Diabolical, I tell you. Diabolical. We're going to start getting some people up here real quick. We're going to ask some Trump supporters about it. What's good, everyone joining up? Do give it a second. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Honestly, I'll just start getting people up here as soon as possible. We'll probably get a lot of trolls here in the beginning. I'm still on my third account. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello?
Do you remember when we used to rub peanut butter on our dicks?
I don't even know what they said. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Yo, what's up?
I got him in a bust!
Please don't do that. That's so weird. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Yo, what's up? How old are you? Alrighty, only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Shut the fuck up.
How old are you?
Shut the fuck up.
Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to join.
You're good. Let's go on the next individual. Do give it a second. We don't really have many people in the guest box, so if you're a Trump supporter, make sure to send a guest request right now. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? How old are you? Alrighty, we got no guest requests right now. Do give it a second for people to join up. Actually, we have a few. I just got them. We're going to start adding people up. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo, Parker, what should I get for lunch, man?
Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. Attack on Pony. Thank you so much for the $10. Thank you so much. Thank you. Only do send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Yo, what's up? How old are you? Alrighty, I might release this because there's apparently some new Epstein files releasing soon, so I might put that as my title. New Epstein. I can't even type. Files released soon. Okay, alright. I can't type for some reason. There we go. That should be better. I can't even, dude. Holy shit, dude. Hold up, 1 second. There we go. That should be better. Alrighty, let's get everyone joining in. We're going to start trying to get people up here, but only do send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. We'll be blocking and banning anyone who does not meet that criteria who intentionally comes up here. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
What's up? I'm 18.
Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
What's your birth year?
2007.
What month?
April.
And if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who'd you rather vote for?
Probably Trump.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
I would just say, well, why would you support Kamala?
Would you like to answer my question first?
There's just like a lot of reasons. It's just like hard to choose just one, you know?
You said what?
There's a lot of reasons and it's just hard to choose just one.
Give me your best one.
Oof. I mean, there's just like all of it together, like the politics on like everything, if I'm gonna be honest.
Dude, can you just name a specific thing that you like? Holy shit. I'm sorry, it's not that difficult to name something that you like.
Maybe just like all of like, I guess it's like policies and everything.
Could you name a policy?
Policies, I mean, like just like his overall like political stances and stuff like that.
Are you trolling?
Yeah, I'm trolling.
Yeah, leave me alone. Just letting you know, if you intentionally come up here and you don't meet that set of criteria, I am going to start blocking people. Just letting everyone know. I'm going to start doing that every day now. I just, it's ridiculous at this point, dude. What's about you?
Yo,
How old are you?
23, 24, bro.
Do you support Trump?
Yeah, bro.
Okay, and what's your birth year?
Nigga, you sound like a bitch, nigga.
Oh, well, they're blocked. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Oh. Alrighty, let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Fuck.
Okay. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yeah, bro, 21.
Do you support Trump?
Yes.
What's your birth year?
2004,
In what month?
September.
And if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for? Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Again, everyone, we are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? Hello? Alrighty, let's go on the next individual. Again, everyone, only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Fuck my stupid Chungus life.
Okay. Well, you got blocked, so that's unfortunate. Let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Alrighty, only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. Again, everyone, we are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 23.
Do you support Trump?
I do.
What's your birth year?
2002, May.
Yeah, and if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
I'd vote for Trump.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
I'd say a couple main facets. I don't agree fully with his execution of his immigration plan, but I agree big picture, and I think his big picture of his immigration plan aligns closer with what with what Kamala said she would do.
Kamala. You said
Sorry,
his big
Kamala.
you said his big picture immigration plan aligns more with Kamala Harris?
No, aligns more with what I would prefer than what
Okay.
Kamala Harris said she would do.
Okay, like what?
Starting to prioritize natural-born Americans over immigrants who are coming in, specifically immigrants who didn't follow the rules in coming or leaving by the time that their visa is allowed.
Okay, there's a few things. One, he's talked about recently denaturalizing citizens of the United States. Did you hear about that?
I heard, I briefly, because I saw it in relation to, I live in Minneapolis, and I saw it in relation to him talking about Ilhan Omar, but I didn't see in depth what he said.
Not just Ilhan Omar.
I'm sure that was not the only case, but that's all I had seen about it was a headline in that regard.
Okay. Would you still support him, given the fact that he called for that?
I would. I wouldn't say I'd agree with that specific stance, but I would still support him.
Okay. Is there anything on immigration you're saying is closer, other than quote unquote prioritize natural born U.S. citizens? I don't understand how Kamala Harris's position wouldn't do that.
I believe the removal of people who are illegally in the country benefits people who are here who are possibly disenfranchised or lesser cared for due to lack of resources because they're being used for people who aren't legally here.
Here's an issue. One, undocumented immigrants don't get any federal services, so they're providing more into the system than they're taking out of it. Secondly, legal immigrants do the very same thing. They provide more to the system than they take out of it. This idea that they're like a net loss on our system is not economically based at all. Would you like to provide a single source or study indicating that?
No, I'm not arguing that they're a net loss.
That's what you just did.
But no, that's not. What I said was any benefits that they are receiving are benefits that could be accessible to natural U.S. citizens that they aren't getting because they're being used for illegal immigrants.
Not if they're a net benefit. If they're a net benefit, we will have less money overall.
No, so you're looking at the picture as though them being a net benefit does not mean they are net benefiting public services that they're taking from. They might net benefit the system as a whole.
They are. They're not only just net benefiting the system overall, but also government services and paying into
Do you
the
have
system
something
to a
you
greater
can
extent.
quote that shows
Yes.
the money they're? I didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize. Go ahead.
There's something called the labor force participation rate, which actually indicates that undocumented immigrants and documented immigrants work to a greater extent comparative to natural-born U.S. citizens, meaning that they're providing into the system to a greater extent comparative to natural-born U.S. citizens.
Okay, I would concede that if that is true, then that would overpower my stance on the removal of illegal immigrants in that regard.
Okay, well, I think that there should be a pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants that have not committed a violent crime or bad crime. I believe that will make us the safest as possible. One, it will ensure that the most amount of people are vetted as possible. Secondly, border enforcement won't be, literally spending over 70% of their time, right, enforcing, detaining of those that have not committed violent crimes or bad crimes or have no prior criminal record. And instead, they're going to be looking at the rapists, criminals, murderers, people who have actually done bad things, not just people who have come into our country undocumented, which is a misdemeanor, which I think should be viewed similarly to like jaywalking if it's not a threat to our safety and security.
I agree that our immigration process needs to be greatly changed to better affect those who are, like you said, not criminals here benefiting the system more than they're taking. I just don't agree that while we seek out that process, we need to allow every person who's here illegally to remain here while we seek out that process.
I didn't say every single person to stay. I said every single person who hasn't committed a violent crime or bad crime or has no prior criminal record.
I agree. What I'm saying is every single person shouldn't be here while we try to find out what that process is. I know that you said you don't agree that everyone should stay, but in our government, it's not like today someone can represent what that exact process is and it be implemented. And I just don't agree with the millions of people who are committing the misdemeanors of overstaying visas or coming here without correct visas. I don't think all of them should be allowed. Well, hold on. I don't think all of them should be allowed to stay. Sorry?
Overstaying a visa is a civil violation, not a misdemeanor.
Okay, so the civil violation In that case, the civil violation or the misdemeanor of coming in illegally, I don't think everybody who commits those should be allowed to stay while we seek out what the correct process is.
So again, you understand that I'm advocating for this process for people who have not committed violent crimes and bad crimes. You can't give a single way in which they would negatively impact our system. You're just advocating to deport them, which, by the way, Democrats do still deport those that have not committed violent crimes and bad crimes, just at a lesser priority comparative to those that have. So they
Sure.
still uphold the position you're advocating for. I'm saying I disagree with that position, but the Democrats are closer to my position because they advocate for the system to go significantly quicker. Whereas
Sure,
Republicans
I would say the leadership under Donald Trump is closer to mine, because what we saw under the Biden presidency was not the rate of removing illegal immigrants at what I would say is an acceptable rate. We saw a great influx of illegal immigrants, even those who aren't criminals, compared to those who were being deported.
But that's not because of the Biden-Harris administration policy. That's because of economic insecurity that existed around the world due to global inflation.
That same economic insecurity has existed across the world for different reasons forever. Somehow Obama deported as many people as he did. There was economic stability in 2008 to 2012.
I would say that negatively impacted growth patterns because of the fact that he was deported so many people.
So your ideal, the removal rate of illegal immigrants, would be somewhere in between what the Obama administration accomplished and what the Biden administration accomplished. In an ideal world where there isn't that economic instability.
I think the Biden administration was deporting too many people as well. I don't believe anyone who has not committed a violent crime or bad crime should not be deported. That's what I believe. So, I think the Biden-Harris administration was still deporting people, right, who meet that criteria.
Sure, I'm in your situation, the reason they didn't deport as many, you gave the reason because of economic instability. You would concede that.
No, listen, you misunderstood me. More
Okay.
people were coming to our country because of that, not that they were deporting less people.
Have we become the ideal place that people must flee to when they're experiencing economic instability in their home?
It depends on the context sometimes, but there's also a migration crisis with Europe as well. Right, in terms of
Yeah,
how
I
many people are
agree.
coming.
And we're
So,
seeing the
like,
negative impacts on economics in Europe that have received influx of immigration.
not due to immigration. What is okay, answer this question.
Sure.
What negative economic impact comes from immigration?
On a grand scheme, availability for housing, not being able to produce housing at a rate that provides for all of the natural born citizens because of incoming illegal immigrants or incoming immigrants that are living in those homes. You're nodding no.
Yeah, because immigrants, especially in the United States, are not causing that issue. That issue was existing independent of the fact that immigrants are trying to come to our country. So if you want to have a process of building up that housing, you can. Now, you could foresee a certain level of immigration at a high level in a short period of time that could put upward pressure on prices in the short run, but that same trend would not be true in the long run.
That same trend would not be true in the long run if there's a way to curb the income of immigrants who are coming in. And we saw the highest rate of incoming immigrants during the Biden administration than we'd seen in years.
Wrong. No, it would be if you have the ability to increase the set of housing, which we do. We also have plenty of infrastructure around the entire United States that's not currently being utilized because of the fact that people are moving out of the small areas, like where my dad grew up, for example, in like the middle of Iowa, right? There's literally,
Sure.
right, just like towns where there's lots of infrastructure, push the galaxy, thank you, but people are moving out of that. There's only a few hundred people that live there now because of the fact that everyone's moving to the big cities. So we could create incentives to move towards areas in which there is existing infrastructure.
Yeah, I agree. That'd be a great idea.
Okay. Well, you understand that these policies are things you can do that would also be compatible with the idea that we'd be able to allow for a greater level of immigration. And also,
Yes,
there's
but
still no negative impact you'd be able to mention outside of that. You're not mentioning the GDP increases, the wage increases. You're not mentioning the employment increases for natural-born U.S. citizens that result from immigration that we've seen over the past 20 years.
There's been increases in employment for natural born citizen when the immigration rate goes up.
Yeah, when there has been immigration over the past 20 years, we've seen employment rate go up. We've seen, this is due to immigration, we've seen GDP go up, and we've seen wages go up for natural-born U.S. citizens.
Can you explain in what robust way immigration affects that?
Yeah, so in terms of employment, GDP, or wages?
I specifically employment is what's ringing my bell, but I would say wages as well.
Yeah, so I'm not 100% positive on all the criteria for what would be the case. I can give
Sure.
you what my theory would be based upon, again, the empirical data that we have.
Sure.
This I can send you the study from the National Bureau of Economic Research that reports on that. But the wage increases we could see are likely a result of the fact that there are consumers that come to our economy and increase the size of the GDP. And because of the increased size of the GDP and increase of the amount of transactions, market transactions, that increases the amount in which you can pay to your constituents, or to the people in general, because it is the case that there's more money in the economy, right? Transacting, right? And since whenever there's an exchange of goods, it's a voluntary mutual beneficial exchange, and each side has a subjective value increase. So every single time you see a trade, that's going to increase that. If there's more people within our economy, there's more trades that are undergoing, right? Because people are within closer proximity to each other, that's going to cause a greater level of subjective value increase, which can then lead to wage increases in the long run. Now, that's my theory. I don't know if that's 100% factual across the board. There's probably other reasons that apply to it, but that's my explanation for what we see in terms of the empirics.
So in economies that have larger populations than us and don't experience that increase in GDP on population alone, what do you think is the difference between that and your theory of how that affected us?
They do see an increase in GDP. I'm just saying with the economy that we already have, adding more
Sure.
people on top of that, more transactions on top of that, allows for the rate of growth to increase. Not that it like completely revitalizes an economy or makes it so that people are immediately like millionaires or billionaires or something, but it increases the rate in which people are better off, essentially.
Okay. I get that point. In terms of the employment rate, and again, I know you have people waiting. I don't mean to take up all your time making you explain your position on everything. But
No,
if
can
you
talk
have
to
the
me.
time,
I don't have that many people waiting. It's okay. I can
Okay.
talk to them after
Okay.
you. Just tell me why you support Trump.
Would you like to shift off of this so we can get to something else that we can debate on instead of me just asking you to explain your views
Yeah.
on things?
Essentially.
Okay. Sure, I understand. So I work in public safety. I'm a 911 operator,
Mhm.
and in my job, we've seen the difficulty in prosecuting long-term and short-term criminals when when there's a democratic base in the judiciary system, a county attorney, or a mayor or a district attorney. I don't think that's always bad. I think there are times that positively affects some people. But the way that I see Donald Trump moving into supporting law enforcement in a way that they can go after criminals that have been difficult to find or difficult for local law enforcement to gather, who have warrants, but they're difficult to be found. I see that as a benefit to the way Donald Trump is treating law enforcement.
So there's a few things. One, he pardoned violent rioters who beat police officers, and he called them patriots. Two,
I do disagree with that thing he did.
yeah. Two, I'd like to hear the specific policy that created a better condition to be able to find people, in terms of who have committed violent crimes and bad crimes from a police standpoint. And then thirdly, if you're referencing ICE, well, ICE is violating people's rights, due process
I'm
rights,
not
and
referencing
not
ICE.
utilizing warrants. But okay.
I'm not referencing ICE. Specifically, a specific example of that would be in DC when the National Guard came in and they found 45 violent criminals with warrants that had yet to be found. That they in like the first 2 days, I believe it was, they found 45 or so people with violent crime warrants that were on the street.
And do they have the ability to arrest them as National Guard members?
They have the ability to seek them out and to support the local law enforcement.
But they don't have the ability to arrest them, correct?
I don't know what the legality is for when the law enforcement is employed is directed by the president on what their arresting rules are.
Okay. So then here would be my issue, is that couldn't you just do the same thing with police? And
I don't
also,
think
like,
I don't think you can manufacture police force though.
hmm?
At the end of the national, or I don't know what, I guess I don't know exactly when it ended, but the DC mayor did end up saying, and the DC police did end up saying, this was a benefit having these extra hands in finding these people. I don't think you can manufacture numbers in a police department to like circumvent the process and try to find those people faster, like what happened when the National Guard was deployed.
Okay, so would you argue for the National Guard to be deployed everywhere around the country?
I wouldn't say everywhere, but and I don't know what the exact number would be, but in places where there are an exceeding amount of violent criminals out on warrants who have yet to be located, I would support that.
Okay.
A short term involvement to help locate people out on violent warrants.
Okay, why don't you want it in the long run, under your view, if it's going to, in the long run, reduce the amount of people, right, specifically who have violent crime warrants and that haven't specifically been arrested?
Sure. I don't think it would be effective in a day-to-day policing. I think it is effective in a short-term locating a surplus of people who are out on violent warrants and haven't been found. So long-term, I don't see the National Guard acting as police as any sort of solution, but seeing them as a short-term bolstering to a local law enforcement to be able to locate those people, I think is a benefit.
Sorry, I'm getting over a sickness still.
No, you're okay.
Yeah, so I mean, short-term involvement, I could see the point you're making there in terms of being able to find people who have violent crime warrants. Would you like to provide the source that specifically indicates that they are able to, at a greater rate, be able to see that, other than just the claim? Is there like any statistics that back up that?
That would back up that they're able to do what they did in DC.
That they found greater levels of people with those particular types of warrants, and then also that same trend is seen in other areas in which the National Guard has been deployed. Because in order to prove that it was specifically due to the National Guard, you would have to justify that it happens in all the places in which the National Guard have showed up. It wouldn't be the case that it would be just true in one area but not in the other ones, if it was the case that it was based upon them.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that every time the National Guard is deployed, that has to be the outcome for it to be seen as a possibility and a benefit of the National Guard being deployed to those areas.
It does. Otherwise, it would demonstrate that like there would be some other factor that explains that.
I think in every situation there's multiple factors that can affect it.
Yeah, but I'm saying like what is going to explain that level of change, right? In order to be able to explain that level of change, it would have to be present in all these different scenarios. Otherwise, it might be hyper contextual to that specific area.
Do you think there's something specific to violent criminals in DC being unable to be located that would be different than other places?
Well, not off the top of my head, but if we see that in
Sure.
the data, that might indicate that. Does that make sense?
Sure, I don't think that data is available until there is more of that happening to see if it does become a pattern.
The National Guard has been deployed in other areas. Like when the National Guard were sent to LA, did that happen?
I would say that
it led to greater levels of harm. It led to greater levels of violence.
I would say it led to greater levels of violence in the small amount of protests that did turn violent. I wouldn't say that is solely due to the National Guard's involvement.
It is. It was determined by the courts.
What courts found that the National Guard being there created?
It was a district court within the area, or circuit court, one or the other, and they determined that the reason why the National Guard shouldn't be there is because they are causing an increase in the level of violence and commotion, right, and things that are happening in that particular area rather than reducing it.
Do you think?
And also, by the way, I live in
Sure.
LA, right? I definitely think that's true as well, because of the fact that there were more people out there protesting and angry at the fact that they are coming out there rather than actually them helping out in the first place. And that's definitely the case I would see for people in at least in blue states, because again, the governor said that they don't want them to be there.
Right.
So there's a constitutional issue with sending them there in the first place. So if the whole point was to
Right.
reduce the crime or be able to find people that are on these types of warrants, well, then it would be to send them to areas in which have Republican governors. Secondly, we can't make this claim while simultaneously acknowledging that Donald Trump's been pardoning violent rioters who beat police officers, right? Like, we have to acknowledge that that's literally something that he's done that is antithetical, right, to, like, caring about reducing violent crime. Also, I mean, he's called for the execution of some Democrats because they said not to abide by unlawful orders.
Yeah, that's so. To try to touch on those couple points that were made, I acknowledge the difference in the legality of the president being able to deploy the National Guard to a place like DC, and then a state like California, in a city like LA that has a governor and the different rules there. I live in Minneapolis, and I was here in 2020, and we saw the National Guard be deployed here, and the National Guard was not seen as a perpetuator of any of the violence that occurred in any of the riots in 2020 in Minneapolis. Additionally, in the other points you were making, I cannot defend and will not try to defend anyone in any way. People who get aggravated and assault law enforcement officers. I disagree with pardons that presidents have made for years. I can't take a disagreeing of a specific pardon as an overall determining factor in whether or not I do support a specific president.
I think it would have to be in this circumstance because this is him intentionally pardoning a violent rioter who beat a police officer. I don't think you can give any circumstance of a Democrat advocating to literally pardon, like a person in a position of office in a Democratic position, to advocate to pardon a violent rioter or someone who engaged in violence in any of these circumstances. And if they did do that, that would be the talking point from the right continually over and over and over again.
Yes, but there are President Biden pardoned his own son for any and all crimes he may have committed in a grand time span.
He wasn't convicted of a violent crime. But, like, I mean,
he was convicted
your point,
of unlawful possession of a firearm.
That's not a violent crime.
It's not an act of violence, but it's a felony possession of a violent weapon.
Okay, I mean, if you care about felonies, you wouldn't have voted for a felon yourself.
Again, first of all, I didn't vote for Trump in 2020.
But you would vote for him right now if you could go back in time.
If I could go back in time and the choice, and as you stated, the choice was between him and Kamala, I would vote for Trump.
Kamala.
But I did not vote for Trump in 2024.
Yeah, but like you would, based upon the information right now, still go back and vote for him. So the point I'm making is still true, correct?
The specific felonies that Donald Trump was found guilty of are not felonies that would prevent me from voting for him in a situation between just him and Kamala.
Yeah, so then the point I'm making is that you seemingly don't really care about the felonies with Donald Trump, but you do care about the felonies with Hunter Biden?
No, I wouldn't say I don't care, but there's a range of felonies, right?
Wait, which is worse? The felonies with Trump or the felonies with Hunter Biden being pardoned by Joe Biden?
I would say the felony of being in possession of an illegal firearm is worse to me than the felony of hush money payments.
It's just illegally having a firearm.
Yeah, that's what is that not? I apologize. Illegal possession of a firearm.
Yeah, I thought you meant like a specific type of gun that he's not supposed to have. I just wanted to clarify that.
No, illegal possession of a firearm. I would see that as worse as the incorrect management of funds on a money level, incorrectly labeling funds in the way that he did.
Incorrectly. Wait, sorry. Say it one more time.
My understanding of the felonies that Trump was found guilty
so hold on. I just want to clarify. Lying on a application to get a gun is worse than falsifying business records to hide a hush money payment so that it doesn't affect your election results?
Hiding, again, I would argue that yes, illegally possessing a firearm is worse than incorrectly labeling funds.
You're misunderstanding though, right? Like it was a lying on a gun application, right? So like they're both lies, right? They're both technically falsification of documents, right?
Sure. But one of them leads to the possession of a deadly weapon, and one of them leads to the incorrect code being used on a payment form.
No, one of them hides information so that it doesn't affect the election results. Because you understand, he was hiding the money, or hiding the information that he paid hush money to Stormy Daniels by explicitly falsifying business records.
Yeah, I understand that. I do not personally see that as bad as someone illegally obtaining a firearm.
Okay, I don't see the difference under your view.
One,
They're both
okay,
felonies.
one has
You brought up one being wrong because of a felony.
this all came by me saying specifically a felony would not deter me in that specific situation, but both I've seen presidents pardon people I don't think was appropriate to pardon. That cannot be the only reason, that cannot be a forefront reason into why I do or don't support
It
that.
can be. It can be. Like, if Donald Trump fucking pardoned Ghislaine Maxwell, would you still support him?
Okay, I don't want my pause to be interpreted as
That's fine.
okay. I'm trying to decide if on a broad view, if someone pardoned someone specific, if that would be like the determining factor for me.
Yeah, if
With
Epstein were
how-
still alive and Trump pardoned Epstein, would you still support
Okay,
him?
okay, Epstein, no. We could come up with bad.
The same
and bad
thing
and
should be
bad
true with
people.
Ghislaine Maxwell, because Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted of the same shit.
Yes, she was. So yes, I agree.
Okay? So then, that would be a pardon that would get you to stop supporting him, right?
Yeah, I guess sure.
Okay. So then my point here is that there's a difference between the pardoning of Hunter Biden and the pardoning of the January 6th violent rioters who beat police officers, because they committed a violent offense at the Capitol, right? And it was during an insurrection at the Capitol, okay? Why was that deemed a violent insurrection? One, because Donald Trump told them to take back the country from those that stole it from them, fight like hell, and then he pardoned violent rioters who beat police officers. I did think before he pardoned the violent rioters who beat police officers, I thought he had enough plausible deniability to say that he didn't incite that. But since
Sure.
he's pardoned the violent rioters, that tells me very clearly that he did, right, intentionally, right, get them to go to the Capitol so that they could do that. Otherwise, he wouldn't have pardoned the violent rioters.
I don't necessarily believe that's true. I don't think.
Then what would be the other explanation?
I think it's possible for him to not have incited. For him to not have incited, and for him to have pardoned someone who acted in that. I don't think the fact that those two together means he means it must be true that he incited.
No, it tells me that he incited it because he condoned the violence on that day. Does that make sense?
I get your position. I don't agree with it. I don't agree that means he must have incited it. But I would agree
Then
that
what would
him
you take as
pardoning
the
the people
explanation?
who. Sorry?
What is the explanation for him pardoning the violent rioters then? Did he not condone the violence on that day?
I would say condoning and inciting are two different things.
Well, if he condones it, tells them to fight like hell and take back the country from those that stole it from you, I think that meets my criteria for incitement. Now, can you tell me what incitement is under your notion, under your definition?
I don't. Okay, but you must take in the other statements he made. He said to be peaceful.
Again,
I don't-
which would have made sense if he didn't pardon the violent rioters, which tells us that he condoned the violence on that day.
Okay, but again, condoning and inciting I don't think are the same thing.
I do think that when you are condoning violence, that indicates that based upon the other actions he engaged in, he was inciting. Because he said fight like hell, take back the country from those that stole it from you, and he also condoned the violence. Regardless of whether or not he said peaceful there, that doesn't change the idea that he condoned the violence, he wanted it to happen, and he did things to incite it, such as say fight like hell and take back the country from those that stole it from you.
Okay, my point is saying fight like hell, saying take back the country from those who stole it from you, are two things that can be done without violence. And when you take those two statements,
and that's
you
why
pair it
that's
with
why
him-
I told you prior to him pardoning the violence, I didn't say that he was inciting a violent insurrection at the Capitol. But now I do, because it tells us that he condoned it alongside doing those things.
I just disagree that the fact that he pardoned it means he incited it.
Dude,
I agree that he.
This is unbelievable. It's like you're not responding to my point right now. kind of purposefully, it seems.
I don't think I'm purposefully not responding to your point. I think I disagree with your point, and we're just having a
Then tell me,
disagreement
what
on
is
whether
incitement? What is incitement to you?
telling someone to go do something and them doing it. I don't think what he said was
So telling them to go
to
fight like hell and take back the country from those that stole it
No,
from you?
so here's the thing. Okay. Again, fight like hell could mean go vote. You said without him pardoning that those statements alone he could have plausible deniability. So
Mhm.
I don't think him saying those things is inciting, and I just don't agree that the fact that he pardoned the
The
people
one
after
thing that was needed was that he condoned the violence. That's it. That's the only extra thing that he needed for me to classify it as incitement. Okay?
I understand.
If he did not condone the violence on that day, I would not have considered it incitement. Okay?
Okay, and what
He
I'm
did.
saying is what's imperative here is you're correctly labeling all your statements as that's what you needed, that's what I needed, and all I'm saying is that doesn't meet it for me.
So again, I would like to hear your criteria in which it doesn't meet, because the criteria you seemingly mentioned did indicate that it meets that criteria. So I'd love to hear what criteria you're mentioning that is not the case in this scenario.
The criteria I said already still stands. For me, it's the difference between those statements can be taken multiple ways, which we've accepted by using those statements alone. And so because people took statements and acted in a violent way, I don't think means the person who said the statements incited violence. Just as anyone can be, I would argue anyone can be, what's the word I'm looking for? Any person can be empowered by a statement. It doesn't mean that the person who made the statement was
So I
wanting
went
them
to the
do what they did.
Capitol on January 6, 2025, and I specifically got an entire crowd of people, and I told them to march to the Capitol to fight like hell, take back the country from those that stole it from you, and then I got into the position of presidency, and I pardoned the violent rioters who beat police officers on the day. You would say I didn't incite any violence?
I would say you were wrong for doing what you did, but I would argue that you did not tell those people to go violently take the
Did
Capitol.
I incite violence, though, is the question. No?
No.
So if Democrats did the same thing, you would have been totally okay with it?
No, again, I'm not totally okay that Trump did it. I just don't agree that he incited the violence. I don't agree with the pardon, but the speech, I don't think is inciting violence. I think
Not
Democrats
just
tell
I
their
just told you
constituents.
it's not that alone. And by the way, if he didn't incite the violence, if he didn't provoke the violence, then explain to me why he pardoned the violence.
A lot of presidents have pardoned people that they didn't
No.
incite to do the wrong thing they did.
No. Give me a single circumstance of a president pardoning someone who committed violence where you think that they did not incite the violence after claiming that they should go engage in behavior that was associated with that.
Okay, off the top of my head, I can't come up with one specifically.
Do you think pardoning violent rioters encourages people to behave in that particular way?
I don't know if encourages is the right term, but I would say pardoning the people who did that would make people who are willing to do something like that empowered.
Which it says that they're encouraged, right, to behave in that way. That to me meets that criteria of incitement.
But my point is there are people who will act negatively when empowered by something that the person who said that statement didn't intend. I don't think it is the
Which I think
fault.
Trump would have had enough plausible deniability if he didn't pardon the violent rioters. Okay, dude, if you condone the violence and then you do things that encourage people to do things associated with that and then also pardon them, dude, that to me is very clear that he's inciting it. If you don't want to consider it incitement, whatever at this point. I'm not going to keep making this point over and over again. I think it's very clear, okay? I think this is you being ridiculous at this point, to be totally honest with you. I think any reasonable person would look at this set of facts and would say that Donald Trump is inciting it because he is totally okay with the violence that occurred on that day. If you don't want to acknowledge that, totally fine at this point. I don't care to keep arguing this. The point is clear. He pardoned violent criminals who beat police officers, and he encourages that by pardoning them, okay? that creates a culture within society in terms of politics that increases the likelihood of violence. Do you agree with me on that? And also calling them patriots too.
Okay, I agree with you on that point.
Okay, so then what's your response to it?
To be honest with you, I don't know what the original point was in bringing this up and how to tie that back into the original reason it came up. My response to that, I've stated my response to those statements over and over again, and like you said, you don't care to continue arguing the same points when we're not making headway.
I'll tie back in. So we were talking about National Guard being released, right, to reduce the level of crime because they would find people in which had warrants for these particular types of crime. And I'm saying if the goal was specifically to address the level of violent crime, especially in DC, how can that simultaneously be true after he just pardoned violent rioters who beat police officers? And then a lot of these people reoffended. I just want to clarify on that.
I did hear that some did. I also, to be frank, I don't remember the total number. Was it near 2,000?
It was like 1,600 people that he pardoned.
Okay. I can disagree with his actions and how he handled January 6th, and I can still see the benefit of the finding of the people on violent warrants in DC that was empowered by the deployment of the National Guard there.
Yeah, but you can't say the goal of the Trump administration is to address violent crime. Does that make sense? Like, you could acknowledge benefits from, right, the National Guard being sent there. You can acknowledge that. But the issue is you cannot say the goal of the Trump administration is that they want to address violent crime. Does that make sense? Especially in DC.
I get what you're saying. I would say especially in DC they've shown, well, okay, both those things have happened in DC. So
yeah, that's kind of like my point was.
Yeah, I hear you.
I think any reasonable person would look at this information and would see that that's not Trump's goal when he does that, let alone the fact that he sent like the National Guard to areas in which there was a constitutional issue with sending them to. If your goal was addressing violent crime, you would send them to areas where there was no constitutional issue so that you could show the benefits of it to then show other places around the United States that they should engage in that same behavior or they should allow for it.
If that was the goal, where would you recommend? Maybe I'm not framing that right because I don't know if you would recommend doing that.
Okay, I'm just saying I wouldn't necessarily recommend it myself, but like if I were taking his position or something, where would you send them first? You would send them to red states. You go to Tennessee, by the way, at this point, I'm pretty sure they already have gone to Tennessee at this point. I'm saying originally in the very first place. It's taken almost a year for them to do that. Missouri, right? Texas,
right.
Louisiana, all have red governors, all have cities that you would say have enough violent crime to want to address.
Okay. Do you have a theory as to why he hasn't done that? Do you think he's just trying to be inflammatory?
I would say that's part of it. I think really he's trying to see the extent of how far he can push the Constitution and how much he can say no to the courts and how much he can not listen to the courts, right? I think that's what he's trying to see. Not necessarily saying that he's not listening to the courts in all of these circumstances, but to say that he's seeing how far he can go. He's seeing the boundaries. Does that make sense?
I do. Do you? I know there's concerns. I'm curious to hear yours because I've been watching some of your content for probably the last couple of months, but not for as long as I know you've been producing content. Mm-hmm. What would be your concerns that as he's testing the Constitution, where do you see he could take that next? Maybe I should phrase it this way. To someone who wants to be cognizant of someone abusing the Constitution, what are red flags that I should look out for that you see could be his next steps in testing in abusing the Constitution?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't know what his next steps would be.
That's fair.
Like off the top of my head, I don't know.
Okay.
But like, I mean, I can tell you things maybe I could say that there's a threat for. I don't know what he's going to do next necessarily, but there's a threat with our elections, I think, especially going into 2028, especially since what he did in 2020, right? Or technically
The
2021.
him denying it after the election,
Yeah,
or
and
do you
still
think?
to this day, he still denies the 2020 election
Yes.
results to this
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. Do you think? Okay, so what do you think would
And can I tell
be?
you one more thing as well? JD Vance himself said that he wouldn't have certified the true electors, the ones that indicated that Biden won, and that he would have certified the quote unquote alternate slates of electors, which now we know to be the false slates of electors because they literally lost.
Sure.
And we know that. And I think you agree with me
Sure.
that they lost in 2020.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. I will,
So,
and let me kind of make this grandstand here. I've hated. Now I'm young. I'm 23, so I haven't been around long enough to really have like a deep step in politics. I feel like I've done a decent job at exploring and trying to learn about things that happened before me. But I've hated to see how polarized our politics have become. I wish there was a way for us to meet in the middle on some of these things. I acknowledge the benefits I see in a lot of democratic policies is caring for disenfranchised people. I think caring for people is probably one of the ways I see the Democrats step up in a lot of ways that the Republicans fall. But in terms of ways I see the Republicans the current Republican administration and movement standing up in ways that I see Democrats falter, is finding the prosecuting criminals on a wide basis, financial policies that I think have long-lasting benefits, like those kind of things. So I'm in this limbo between what I think are like the fiscal benefits of the Republican Party and what are the social benefits, probably would be the best way to put it, of the Democratic Party.
okay.
If I'm making sense. I don't mean to rant and take up all your time.
No,
I
no, you're
apologize.
totally
This isn't
fine.
the intent.
Don't worry. By the way, I talk to people sometimes for up to an hour and a half, so there's plenty of time that you have to talk to me on the live. Don't feel like you're taking up too much time.
Okay.
I'll let you know when I want to move on to the next person. I think that
Sure.
this conversation's productive, so I think that most people are thinking this is one of the best conversations I've had on the stream
Okay.
in like at least
I
probably
appreciate
the last few weeks, to be totally honest with you. So there's a few things I want to address here. I don't think that the financial policies or the economic policies, I push the galaxy, thank you so much, Jay, of the Trump administration are better than the Democrats, and we can go through that in a second. I'd love to talk to you about that. I have a degree in economics. I'd love to go further in that with
Oh,
you.
great.
But before we do, I do want to bring up the point on polarization. Do you think that Donald Trump, and maybe this is the part of the social policies that you said were better on behalf of the Democrats, but do you think that Trump is the cause of a huge portion of this polarization?
I don't know if I'd say a huge, because I think the trend of polarization started before him. I think he has definitely perpetuated, and I think he's benefit from it.
Okay. Well, when he called for the execution of some Democrats recently because they didn't abide by and uphold unlawful orders, do you think
Absolutely.
that creates a significant amount of polarization that did not exist prior?
I do.
Okay. So I guess like he is making it significantly worse. You might say there might have been a trend that would have slightly gone up, but I think that it didn't become worse until Trump really started running for president. Like, think about what politics was like prior to that point. I would say it was significantly less polarizing. Look at the debates between Romney and
Yes.
and Biden,
Yeah.
or not Romney and Biden, Romney and Obama, and Biden and Paul Ryan, right?
Sure.
Like, look at those debates and then compare them to what the debates look like since Trump has got into the debates
Absolutely.
into the political office. I think that they significantly are less polarizing. Okay, it's not even close.
Sure.
Under my
I
eyes.
completely agree with you. We used to see respect.
Yeah, so it's like if we want to get rid of that polarization from your side as well, and this also exists on our side, we've got to just put a foot down on polarization. So do you guys. And I think that the way that you start with doing that is by putting away MAGA and saying that you can be a Republican, you can be fiscally conservative without supporting Donald Trump.
Do you think there's any good foundation in people who aren't willing to abandon the fiscal stance of the greater Republican Party just because the leader at the time is Trump.
You can hold your same economic position. I get you, right? Like, we can have a conversation about your economic position. I don't think there's a big issue with, or having a conversation about your economic position. I just don't think that you can actively, truly advocate for your economic position while still supporting Donald Trump. I think it literally limits you from being able to have fiscal responsibility and like cutting taxes and regulations. I think he actually limits your ability to do that. I think you would have a significantly better argument if you guys put aside Trump and you continued to argue those things. Because then what would the conversation be about? The conversation wouldn't be about the fact that Donald Trump's been held civilly liable of sexual abuse, that he's bragged about walking in the changing rooms of naked women while they're changing without their consent, where an 18-year-old came out, so there were 4 girls as young as 15 years old in these changing rooms. The fact that he said he would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years. The fact that he pardoned violent rioters on January 6th who beat police officers. The fact that he called for the execution of some Democrats. All of these things, enough reason to not support him. The conversation wouldn't be about that. The conversation would be, oh, why do you support this particular fiscal responsibility or this particular cut of taxes? Or why do you support...
Back to the policies and not about
the conversation will be radically different.
Yeah.
If you want that type of conversation to come back, which I would love to. I would love for that conversation to come back. In order for us to be able to get there, we have to get past Trump. Because there is real disagreement there. There's real conversation there. I just don't think there's a reason for me to even be having that conversation as the sole only conversation.
While Trump is here?
Mostly while Trump's here. Because he's such a threat to our rule of law, our constitution, our court system, right, our democracy. And I'm not just saying this because it's some liberal anti-Trump talking point. I'm saying this because I can give you reasons to indicate it's true within every single one of these respects. He's like actually indefensible, and I think the history books are going to define it that way.
Do you think there's any current big names in the Democratic Party that you think it would be a benefit for the Democratic Party as a whole to move past because of either their I don't like using the term radical because I think it's overused, but their maybe far left beliefs or personal actions?
I mean, there are some like far left positions, economically speaking, that I disagree with, and I can point to explicit examples. I just don't think that quote unquote extremism on the left is viewed anywhere near the same as extremism on the right. I don't think that it's prevalent at all within the Democratic Party, really within office. Really, the furthest left you can go within office is going to be people who will call themselves democratic socialists, which really they're just social democrats that are advocating for a system like the Scandinavian system. So I don't think it's anywhere near comparable within that respect. But I'm pretty sure there's been like a Democrat recently that called for like the deaths of some Republicans. I heard about that. And I mean, that would be an example of me disagreeing with that. Like, I think that's a line where we shouldn't support them, right?
I want to say that was, if I'm thinking of the right person, I think that was the Democratic nominee. I think he won the election too for like district attorney in.
I don't think he's in office. I think his name's Jay Jones, and he's not in office currently.
Okay, there was one Democrat. Text came out that he had said something about if he was in a room with these 3 people, he would shoot the Republican in the room like twice. These texts from a couple years came out.
By the way, I don't know if you can say that specifically on the live, so I just want you to.
Oh, I apologize. I don't know. I don't know all the.
It's okay. It's okay. But like I mean, the point that I would make is that like again, we don't want that in the Democratic Party either. That's extremism we don't want, and I will put my foot down in the circumstance as well.
Sure. Okay.
Are they still in office, chat? Yeah, if they're in office, I obviously condemn that. But
Parker, I appreciate your time and your willingness to have these conversations with people who disagree with you and presenting facts. I work night shifts and I'm supposed to be asleep right now. So I'm going to take off and get to bed. But again, I appreciate you and your willingness to talk.
All right, for sure. I appreciate you coming up.
Bye now.
Alrighty. I actually really appreciate that conversation starting out the day. Like that, conversations like that are what I want. I want that so badly, like genuinely. Like those are the types of conversations I'm looking for. So, hey, W for that. I appreciate that positive. I think it was a productive dialogue. I hope I can change his mind further in the future, of course. I do have a few people to thank real quick. I got to catch up everyone. Moa, thank you so much for the $1. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Thank you very much. Lori, thank you for the $10. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Um, why don't he call the National Guard to stop when Congress has to? I don't know the second question, but the first one, I think it's kind of in conjunction with the other things he was advocating for. Really, we don't necessarily know what fight like hell means. It's kind of vague. It can mean like you just want people to push really hard for this certain thing, but I would say in context with the other things, it likely could lead to violence, especially because he condoned it on that day. That's what I would say at least. Felicia, thank you so much for the $9. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was a good start actually from yesterday where there was a bunch of wild debates. Yeah. Ken, thank you for the $50 on Venmo. Can we get some W's for Ken in the comment section right now for the $50 on Venmo? Thank you so much, Ken. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. W's for Ken in the comment section right now. Thank you so much for yesterday was rough. Hope today is better. It seems like it is so far. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm still like getting over my sickness. Ducky, thank you so much for the $10. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Absolutely, I will. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Oh, Paul, thank you so much. I really appreciate the dollar. Thank you. Kathleen, thank you for the $10. Absolutely, as always. Thank you. And then Jesse, thank you for the $2. I'm sorry, everyone. My voice keeps doing this. It's like a smoothie. It's guava, banana, pineapple, and then blue spirulina. That's what it is. And then I do have another person. Sydney, thank you so much for the $50. Thank you so much. Can we get some W's for Sydney in the comment section right now? Thank you so much, Sydney. I really appreciate it. It's so kind of you. W's for Sydney in the comment section right now. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Someone said slurp juice. Loki, it does look like slurp juice, doesn't it? It's a big pot, chat. It's a big pot. That's so funny, actually. I didn't even think about that until now. Now I will never not see that. Why isn't Parker live on TikTok? I am. Parker, get a real job on TikTok because I'm banned on my main account for a few days. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Again, everyone, we are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates.
You're my favorite gifter, Parker. You're my favorite gifter. You're my favorite.
Someone's in the comment section. Parker, you're shaking. Calm down. What? Okay. Okay, I'll make sure to calm down for you. Alrighty, let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Again, everyone, we are just looking for some debates. Alrighty, we don't have many guest requests right now, everyone. I think it might be because I'm on my third account, but I honestly do think MAGA is becoming less prevalent. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Hello?
How old are you?
I'm 19.
And do you support Trump?
Yeah.
And what's your birth year?
I'm so sorry, what?
What's your birth year?
My birth year, 2005.
And you said you're 19? What month were you born?
May.
You'd be 20, dude.
Fuck.
I was like, they seemed old enough. Like, I would have assumed.
Yo,
what's up? How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 20. You're scared of me. Stop dodging.
How am I? Who are you?
You're running from me so hard. All right, let's go.
Who are you?
Yeah, Christian advocate. Stop dodging me. Let's go.
Oh, have I already debated you?
Nah.
Multiple times?
You're running from me. No, you're running from me.
Then how am I
You
running
haven't-
from you
that's
if
the
I
point.
don't
You're
even
running
know
from
who you are?
You do know who I am. You saw the comments, dude. Come on.
I didn't see the comments.
You saw the comments. Your entire chat saw the comments. Let's go. Anyways, let's get towards it. Ask me the questions. Come on.
He's been on the live before? Hey, why are you lying?
I've never been on the live. Literally, I've never been on the live.
Do you want to put money on that?
Nah, I'm poor. Sorry.
But, like, wouldn't you make money if you've never been on the live before?
I'm poor. I can't bet any money.
So Trump's economy is not helping you?
Nah, I'm just poor. So are you gonna debate or no? Are you scared? Are you gonna run?
I'm not
Run from
scared,
it.
and I'm not running, but you're wasting my time. So. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hi, I just wanted to say you're great and you're doing amazing.
Appreciate you very much. Thank you very much. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you?
Sorry, this was an accident.
You're good. Don't worry. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Was that Phil? That's funny. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
That's your favorite homo.
How old are you?
38.
Oh, I thought they were lagging. You can send a guest request back and I'll add you right back up. I apologize. It sounded like you were driving though, actually. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Parker for president.
We might have to talk to that one guy that has already been on before if we can't get another debate, but I'll let y'all know. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to join.
You're good. Don't worry.
I didn't mean to join.
You're good. You're good. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Again, everyone, we are just looking for some debates. Why is it so much harder for Parker to find a person than Dean? I don't know, actually. Totally honest, I don't know. It's probably because of significantly less people in the live. I think that's actually the reason. Valerie, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. Thank you. I hope I am too. I hope I am too. Only do send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
42.
Do you support Trump?
I support one thing that he did.
Can I clarify
How do
real
you
quick?
feel about what's
If
that?
you could,
Oh,
if
just
you
the-
could, if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Probably Trump for this reason.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'm misguided or not, but he made animal cruelty a felony.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that he did that. I just wanted to get your feedback on how you feel about that, and if I'm misled and shouldn't give him credit for that, or
Oh no, you can give him credit for that. I just think that would have been done by Democrats as well. I don't think that's unique to Trump.
okay.
And
That's
some people
what I
say it was
thought, too.
already a thing. I do know he passed a policy for this, but yeah. Also, like, I think definitely we should care about cruelty relating to humans. You
Yeah.
know? And I do think that
Yeah.
Trump causes cruelty relating to humans to a significantly greater extent.
Right. Okay.
So would you agree with that one, or?
Yeah. I just wanted to get your take on it, because there's a lot of policies that he's proposed that I don't agree with, but that's one of the bigger ones. The reason why I do still kind of support him.
But if it was something that would have been bipartisan and supported by both sides anyway, then why would you specifically say that's a reason to support Donald Trump over Democrats, given that they would have supported that as well?
I hadn't thought of that. Mostly just because when I heard about it, it was relating to Trump, and nobody really ever brought up that it would be a bipartisan thing. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. I've never been on a live before.
That's fine.
Yeah, so I just that and I guess that's about it for now.
All right.
Okay,
but
thanks.
like, would you still vote for him? Get with the
Now
information you
that
have right
I
now.
know it's it would have been a bipartisan thing, which I guess is pretty much common sense. I don't. I would like to. It would depend on how vocal whichever Democratic candidate was running, like how vocal they were on the subject. I'm a huge animal lover, so that was a huge thing for me. And I guess I just haven't heard any Democrats really addressing that. Maybe because it's not a huge
I would say it's not
issue.
addressed by both sides. Like, to be totally honest with you, there's a lot of animal cruelty that exists in our society that's not addressed at all.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's definitely something to be true on both sides in the political spectrum. Push the Galaxy, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, but like also
Okay.
like we should probably prioritize what's going to impact human beings to a greater extent though. And I do think that even though like obviously, you know, we're animal lovers and whatnot, we do need to care about humans, especially children
Yeah.
that are losing access to
Right.
free school lunch and breakfast to the degree of 420,000 children on average every single month because of the big beautiful bill. 2.5 million people losing access to their food stamps on average every single month, and over 10 million people off their access to health insurance. So
Yeah.
when it comes to priorities,
Yeah.
I think that we obviously all of us are going to inevitably put priorities on human beings. Not to say that we don't care about other animals, of course, but like within the
Right.
context of politics, there's not really much we can do about that. I feel like that conversation is more like we have a conversation about ethics, or we have a conversation about like, oh, what technology could we produce to then like ensure that we aren't eating meat in the same way that we are right now, right? Like I think that's a
Right.
conversation about animal cruelty that is inevitably happening, and especially in terms of technology changing over time, right? And inevitably at some point will overtake the current level of meat production, all right? In terms of other types of things that are like meat, right? Taste like meat, but aren't obviously created through the cruelty.
Sure. Sure. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Well, I appreciate you coming up.
All right. Thank you.
Alrighty, let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that sort of criteria. List in the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria. List in the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I am 34, my friend. How old are you?
23. Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes, I do.
And if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
I think Donald Trump.
Have you been on before?
With you, no. I was talking to Dean. Talked to him twice. You came in one time. I was the guy that you two made fun of Charlie Kirk to.
No, I didn't make fun of Charlie Kirk, but he sang the "We Are Charlie Kirk" song. That's making fun of people who are making their or idealizing, right, to a degree of saying we are this person. So I think that's a distinct thing.
I think you're thinking of a different time. No, like I said, I have it. It's recorded. Dean has it recorded too. No, you guys were blatantly making fun of him.
Like what? Like what did we say?
So, somebody donated money, and then goes, "Here's $5, Dean. Charlie who?" And then Dean goes, "Charlie who? I don't know." Which you're gonna try and act like isn't making fun of him, but actually,
you know
it
there
is.
are other Charlies, right?
Well, hold on. There's more to it as well.
Like,
But
did you know?
you
Like,
know-
for example, like there's a Charlie that dunked on Andrew Wilson recently.
Yeah, but
So I mean,
Parker-
he just didn't know who
well, there's
they were
there's more
referencing.
to it. There's more to it. First off, but you know which Charlie we were talking about. He knows because
No, it was
I
it was
mentioned-
actually
excuse
a
me,
payment, so they
excuse
don't
me,
know which Charlie it
excuse
was.
me,
It could have been
excuse me,
Charlie XCX
excuse
as
me,
well.
Excuse me. I let you talk. Hold on. So in the clip, when me and
Perfect rage bait. Jennifer, thank you for the $3. Thank you so much, and Lori, thank you for the $10.
buddy, hold on one second, Boba. Young man, in the video of me and Dean, and it's recorded, I mention it's Charlie Kirk multiple times. So he knows I'm talking about Charlie Kirk.
Appreciate
You
the
show
Galaxy
up
Hunter.
late. Are you listening, buddy?
You were, but the payment wasn't.
No, but listen, so he knew I was talking about Charlie. And then after he goes so far, and again, it's recorded, it's on my YouTube short, where he starts going, "Leave Charlie alone. Leave Charlie alone." Look, you're laughing right now about it. That man,
Yeah, dude, that's
was
making
and
making
he
fun
did
of
not need
you.
to be assassinated. I don't know why you support. Well, I know why you support violence, right? You voted for Kamala, you voted for Joe Biden.
Kamala.
You clearly like.
I don't support violence, but you support a guy that called for the execution of some Democrats because they said to not abide by
sure.
unlawful orders. So, if you want to
I'll
talk about
rebuttal
supporting
everything you
violence,
say. Don't mute me, young man. Don't mute me. Be brave. I know you can do it.
I'll mute you if I want to. It's my life. You can cry about it if you'd like.
You're scared. It just shows you're scared.
I'm not scared of anything. I just get to speak on my
Why
live
would you
stream.
mute me? Why are you afraid of the convo if you're not scared?
I'm not afraid of the convo. I just get to speak whenever I want.
Clearly
It's
you
my
are.
live
You're
stream.
muting me. I mean, hey, listen. I'll let you talk anytime you want. But you keep
I
muting
won't
me.
let you talk.
Trying to cut me off. I know you.
If I don't want you to talk, you won't talk. Hey, dude.
Well,
if you don't crash out on my stream, I'm not going to mute you over and over again. I'm muting you over and over again because you're crashing out on my live stream. Okay? If you stop crashing out, I won't mute you. Okay?
I'm not crashing out right now. I'm being very nice to you. You seem like you're crashing out.
You were just crashing out and you just changed the tone of your voice because you realized I was calling you out because you were crashing out.
No. Crashing out would be if I started calling you names like you and Dean do. If I started celebrating death like you and Dean do.
Well, I don't
if I
celebrate
started
death.
swearing. Excuse me, buddy. Excuse me.
Hey, you lied about me. You said that I celebrated death. I never did that.
Well, you lied about Charlie Kirk. You called him racist. Could you please back
He
that
is
up
a
with one
racist.
bullet point? Could you give me one bullet point to back that up, buddy?
Mm-hmm. He said that one, we should get rid of the Civil Rights Act. Secondly,
that's
he
one.
also.
That's
Can I
one.
please
Hold on,
finish?
pause,
Can I please
pause.
finish?
Let's have a
Can I
good
please
talk.
finish? You're cutting me
Hold on.
off. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. You're cutting me off. You're scared. You're scared right now by not letting me speak. You're not letting me speak because you're scared. You're not letting me speak because you're scared. You're not letting me speak because you're scared. Stop unmuting yourself. Let me speak because you're scared. You're scared. You're not letting me speak. Okay. So I'm gonna stop cutting me off.
Buddy, hold on.
Hey, stop speaking.
Puddle.
Stop speaking.
Let me respond.
No. I will keep muting you.
You're so scared.
I will let you respond when I'm done speaking. Okay?
Coward. You just
You're the coward not letting me finish. Okay? He also said, okay, he's not going to stop. You're not going to stop, dude. You asked me a question. I'm now answering it. And then you literally won't let me answer it.
You brought up the civil rights. Let me respond to that. I said one, Parker. Be a human being.
I'm gonna finish, and you're gonna let me finish. Okay?
Brave.
I know you've never done that before for anyone in your life, but let me finish,
Be
please.
brave. Be brave.
Let me finish, please. Okay?
Let me respond to the civil rights comment you made.
Okay,
I
man,
said,
go for it, because you're not gonna stop. Go for it, man.
Listen, now that you're letting me talk, listen, you're about to rattle off 4 things. Let me respond to the first thing you said. Go one.
I was gonna mention 2, by the way.
Okay, but nonetheless, you said something, so let me respond. You brought up the Civil Rights Act. You said, and you actually butchered it right there. You said that, what did your exact thing was, whatever you just said was completely wrong, because he had one problem with the Civil Rights Act. What was his problem with it? There was one portion of it. What part?
You tell me.
You're on here in front of 4,000 people talking about a man that's in heaven that you made fun of, and you're.
I don't believe
back
heaven
up for
exists.
that. Yes, you did. I have the video of it.
And by the way, me calling him a racist, not making fun of him, it's acknowledging reality, the descriptive facts of reality. I mean, he said when going on a plane that if he sees a black pilot, that he's going to be concerned about whether or not they are qualified just because they're black. He's also referred to people who are black as quote unquote prowling black with an S on the end. Right? So you understand that, like, we can obviously point to plenty of the things that not Donald Trump, that Charlie Kirk has done that's racist, alongside supporting a racist over a non-racist. But go ahead.
Okay, so again, you guys are really funny because I said give 1, you gave 3, but sure, I'll rebuttal all 3. So first off, the Civil Rights Act, you can't even tell me, buddy, what his problem with the Civil Rights Act was. It was Title II. That's his only grievance with the Civil Rights Act. So please stop trying to make him racist because he didn't want businesses to have their personal rights as a business to be infringed upon. He felt like Title II was already addressed in the Constitution. That's all, Parker. You're over here. And by the way, when I said you made fun of him, I'm not referring to you right now calling him racist, which is even worse than what you and Dean did in front of 27,000 people making fun of him. Second thing, the pilot quote, you know this. You know what I'm about to say. He was referring to grievances with DEI, which there's no problem with having a problem with DEI programs, all right? Unlike you racists, me, him, and the vast majority of people believe you should hire somebody based on the content and the merit of their character and that they're the best person for the job. The third thing you said about the prowling blacks, he's referring to things like that poor innocent woman. Isn't that what you brought up? Isn't that what you said? Sweetheart, isn't that what you just said? Don't give me that face. Isn't that what you just said? Wasn't that your third point, or did you say a different thing?
I was saying that he's referring to black people as a whole, and he's making claims specifically about black people as a whole, which I think are obviously going to be bad. Now, let me address the rest of this. Can I please finish? Can I please finish?
Yeah, sure, because you asked nicely. Go ahead.
Okay. So, one, the claim of they didn't want their businesses' rights to be taken away from, that's literally the same argument that racists made after the fact that the Civil Rights Act was passed. claiming that it was a violation of people's rights, because again, the idea that people have to provide, right, for people based upon, right, or not, without discriminating against the color of their skin is something I agree with, because if that isn't the case, well, then there would be enough aspects of society, especially at that point in time, where they would be able to restrict people who are black from going into those positions without, or which would limit black people from getting into many different positions of power, institutions that would be relevant towards them getting education. Like, for example, a university would be able to say, oh, we're only accepting white people to this university. That's something that they could do under this particular law if it is the case that you take over the Civil Rights Act, let alone plenty of other businesses would be able to do the exact same thing. Secondly, we can also point to the fact that, one, I didn't do worse than what you were referencing. You claim that I did worse because I said that Charlie Kirk was a racist, but then you just called me racist in my entire chat without giving an explanation as to how. Let me please keep finishing. And then also, the grievances with DEI are not reasons. I allowed you. The grievances with DEI are not reasons to say that if you see a black pilot, that you're going to think that they're not qualified. Okay? That is an atrocious statement to make, especially because many of the DEI programs are to extend interview processes, okay? To ensure that people who are qualified get into these particular positions. And in order to get into a position of a pilot, you have to go through a set of credentials in order to be able to fly a plane in the first place. So they had legitimate qualifications and credentials, yet Charlie Kirk is saying that they don't and that they're unqualified because they're black. That is not because of DEI. That's because he's a racist piece of shit.
No, that's not true. And first off, you know he's not racist based off your encounters. Like, you know he's not. But here's the rebuttal to what you just said about the DEI pilot thing. Listen, buddy. So first off, when United Airlines and Delta Airlines and Costco and Pepsi and Coke and Johnson & Johnson and 100 other companies come out and say, hey, including the exact airline you're talking about, say, hey, we're going to hire 50% of our hiring class is going to be women or people of color, and that is their aim to do that, they are now adding race as a factor in their hiring process. And what happens is, if you Google, does DEI lower standards for the hiring process, Google's going to tell you no. But what the problem for you and your side is there's hundreds of lawsuits that have come about from stuff like this, where the people ended up winning for reverse discrimination because of DEI. Duval versus Navant Health, Herrera versus New York City, Ames versus Ohio Department of Youth Services, Woodward versus...
Repeat them so I can write them down. You said Duval versus Nuvant Health Inc. They awarded the plaintiff $10 million for reverse discrimination.
This isn't even in pilots or planes. So would you like to give us one reference to the planes?
I'm sure, absolutely. When I post this video, I will have the link of a one. No, listen.
No, I asked you, do you have any off the top of your head, right, specifically that relate to the pilots? Because we're talking about flying a plane. So again, I just want to clarify. In order to be hired, in order to be able to, can I speak?
I let you talk.
Okay, go ahead.
It's okay. Listen, you made fun of a deceased man, so you should be more worried about trying to, clear that up with the internet.
You're such a little snowflake.
Than this. Okay. Well, I disagree.
Because again, I called him a racist piece of shit. That's true. Okay, you called me. By the way, you called me a racist. Okay, so you did the very same thing. I'm not. I'm not a racist.
I have proof you're racist.
This is stupid. That's so stupid. Now I'm gonna respond to your point because it was ridiculous.
You're such a coward, buddy. I'm being.
No, I'm not. Let me respond.
No,
you're just gonna make a million different. Okay, finish your claims and then let me respond, please. Jesus Christ.
Well, I want to, because when I came in here, I said, "Don't use the Lord's name in vain, young man." But
I will.
First off,
Jesus fucking Christ, cry about it, you snowflake.
Well, good luck with that for eternity, buddy.
I will. Listen, I'll be fine. I'll be fine because Christianity's not real.
Okay, well, I think God's real, so.
Okay, but you do. You think that, but you have no evidence.
Well, I'm sorry. I know God's real. I do have evidence.
You have no evidence. We can talk about that in a second.
I have evidence. But
we can talk about that in a second.
Parker, calm down. I want this nation to come together.
I'm totally calm.
Pray. Like, listen,
no, you don't.
Dean Withers made fun of my brother in Christ, Charlie Kirk, right? He made fun of me, said so many mean things, right? And I see a video of Dean almost having like a heart attack on stream. You know what I did, unlike you guys? I prayed for him. I really, truth from the bottom of my heart, was like, oh my God, I hope this kid's okay. Even though he
he clearly hates me, hates Charlie Kirk. But like that's
Can,
where
can
we
I can I
differ.
go back to the rest of the points you were making because
No,
you're now
so you
making
brought
a
up
totally
3 points.
separate
I
claim.
said bring up 1, you brought up 3, and now you're veering all over the place. So I want to go back to the.
Wait, I've
the
written
thing
down
where
more
you
than
acted
3
like-
points that you
Let
just
me
made. I've written
respond.
down more
Let me
than 3
respond.
points that
Let me
I've written down
respond.
more than
Let me
3
respond.
points that you
Well,
did.
if you
made more than 3 points right there. Can I respond?
listen, my friend, listen. Take a deep breath.
I've taken deep breaths. You're the one that's not letting me speak. No, I'll just mute you until you do it if you won't let me respond. Okay? This is ridiculous.
how am I-
Okay? Can I
How am
please?
not-
Oh my
Let me
god, this
talk.
guy's so annoying.
Parker, the best way to have a convo is like this. I say, hey, Parker, give me one example why he's racist. You say the pilot quote. Then let me respond to the pilot quote. But instead, you said 3 other things. So
I
I
haven't
feel
been
like
able to respond. You've done that. You just did that. You just said like 5 different things. I haven't had the ability to respond.
So all I want to say is
you
back to your
dishonest.
thing
You're
of-
so dishonest.
Well, that's not true. It's recorded, my friend. I
Yes,
want to go back
which
to
they'll
like
all
Trayvon.
see that you just said like 4 different things and you're not letting me
Well,
respond
who
right
would
now.
have thought that the people in your live and your
Okay, I'm gonna respond. Please stop talking. If you don't, I'll just kick you. This is ridiculous.
all right, well,
I will
I'll
literally
feel like
disconnect you, and you can hop back in the box, and I'll add you back up once
back.
I am done speaking. So please stop talking. Okay?
I
Okay.
won then. Kick me.
No, you didn't. I just
come
said that you can hop back in the box, and I'll add you back up. Just let me finish speaking.
Money. Well, okay, you go ahead, but
Hey,
don't
dude.
be afraid to let me talk.
I will, but you're not letting me talk right now. Okay?
Go ahead.
So by the way, hiring people for being a pilot, right, does not mean that they aren't qualified, because you have to meet the qualifications to get a license to fly in the very first place. You have to go to school to specifically be able to get a license to fly. You have to meet a set of qualifications and criteria to be able to fly. So them being a woman or them being a person of color does not mean that they are not qualified, because they had to meet the necessary qualifications to be able to get in that position in the very first place. So it's dishonest for you to act like DEI in the manner in which it was set up and made it so that people were unqualified to fly planes when they were pilots, because you just do not understand the process of what it takes to be able to fly a plane in the first place.
Oh, you just wanted to say something you said already. Okay, I didn't realize you were just going to repeat yourself. Well, the response to that is, again, hundreds, if not thousands of court cases, whether it's with a pilot, I
Name
guarantee
one.
you can find one. I guarantee you could find one. Let me talk. I just let you talk. Excuse me, piggy. Listen. So
That was
if I
embarrassing
have
that you just did that.
hundreds, if not thousands of
You just said that you don't insult, but you just did that, by the way.
You just muted, and you just muted. But you said insults first, and I said one joke, so you can simmer down a little bit. And I'll tell
I
you
called
what,
you a
I won't again.
snowflake
I
because you're
promise
crying
I
on
won't.
my stream.
Stoop down to your level. I'll be like Charlie Kirk to you, like he was sweet with you and nice and treated
He
you
was
like
not
the-
sweet with me. He called me deranged.
Well, you were free. You were a little.
I wasn't.
Now this is not an insult. I'm just speaking the truth. You were a little crazy when you talked.
You see what I mean? You see how you just like you justify insulting me, but then you literally cry
That's not
about
an
it
insult.
whenever
I'm
I
just
insult
talking
you.
about the facts,
Calling me
brother. Like,
deranged
go
is an
watch the
insult.
video.
Calling
Well,
me
you were
deranged.
going crazy on him. He
I
was
wasn't going crazy. Calling me deranged is an insult.
again, I take it as a compliment. But listen, my rebuttal to your pilot thing is this. 2 things. 1, if we have hundreds, if not thousands, of court cases where the jury awarded people $26 million, $500,000, this and that, of a crazy amount of money where they voted in favor for them, okay, that a less qualified person was hired, then you could suffice that it could happen with the pilot, which I'm sure we'll find a pilot case. I'm definitely going to do that for you. But that's just the truth. And here's the other thing, and then you can respond, brother, is this. Charlie Kirk, and the majority of people agree that you shouldn't hire people based off the color of their skin. You do. That's it. It's nothing crazy. That's it.
Okay, so the issue here is that historically speaking, people have not been able to get in positions of power based upon the fact that they specifically have a particular race. They didn't get opportunities because of the fact that they have a particular race, because of systemic discrimination that exists. Now, if you want to talk about the hiring people based on skin color, you're not referencing the fact that this also referenced women. So it's not specifically just quote-unquote people of color. It's also literally women as well. So like, I'm confused. I'm confused why you're trying to bring this up. Did he say this every single time you saw a woman that was a pilot? Can you name one time he said this about a woman?
I agree with both things you just said. DEI is not just to people of color and whatever, right? But here's the thing. First off,
I asked you a question. Would you like to respond to it? Name me one
but you
time
said two
he said
things
this
that I'm
about a woman
responding
who was a
to. Hold on,
pilot.
you said two, but that's not how combos work. You don't control what I say, right? I'm
I
a
asked
human
you a
being. I'm allowed
question.
to do what
I asked
want.
you a question. You
You
don't
are
want to
in
respond.
control.
Are you a
Excuse
coward?
me.
You coward. You
Excuse
can't
me.
respond to my question.
I'm a lot of things. I'm a lot of things. But listen,
Of course, like a coward.
one would fathom you're a coward because you keep muting.
You're
One would
you're
fathom
the one
you're a
that won't
coward
respond to
right
my
now.
question. That's why I'm muting you.
But
You won't
because you
respond to
said two
questions.
things that were essentially needed to be responded to prior to that question. And now when you do stuff like this, I lose my train
were
of
the
thought.
two
I'm
things?
trying to have a convo.
What were the two
So
things?
first thing, and I agree with you. The first thing was you brought up, oh, people of color couldn't get jobs because of racism and discrimination and imbalances of power and this and that. Well, guess what? Hear me out. Let's see where this goes, Parker, big guy. I agree with you, but my question to you is this, though. How long did DEI and affirmative action and other policies like that need to be in place before you felt like it was balanced out? We have other things to talk about, but that's my question to you now. How long? If I say I agree with you, right? Okay, after racism was ended by the Civil Rights Act, and then every 8 to 10 years they implemented another piece of legislation to help fight against it. My question to you is, how long? Because we had DEI and affirmative action for 20 plus years, probably closer to 30. So how long until it's not balanced out? Forever? Is that what you want?
So affirmative action was shot down by the Supreme Court. If we're talking about DEI, it depends on the type of industry that you're referencing or for the particular businesses. These are particular businesses that choose to engage in this. I don't think racism was ended. I think that it still affects people to this day. So obviously in positions of power such as the position... Can I please finish without you cutting me off, you coward?
No, listen, I'm not trying to be rude. It's an honest question to you because you just said a point, though.
I couldn't hear you because you were cutting me off. An honest
so I
question shouldn't be...
apologize.
You can remember your honest question and then ask it when I'm done speaking.
No, I can't. I have a bad
I'm
brain.
sorry.
I really do.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Listen.
Dude,
I'm not
he's
trying.
such
If you
a
want to keep
little
going, but
kid. He's such a child. It's
an
unbelievable.
Excuse me. It's an
It's-
honest question.
An honest question should be able to be asked once I'm finished done speaking. You wouldn't let me ask a
All
question.
right, you go ahead, buddy. Go
You
ahead.
wouldn't-
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. You wouldn't let me ask a question in the middle of your statement.
go ahead.
You'd fucking
Go ahead.
cry and you'd complain
Go
like the
ahead.
little baby you are.
No, go ahead.
Okay? Jesus Christ, dude. I can't even get a damn fucking statement out before you cut me off.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, again, if you want to ensure that it's balanced out, how about you look at the past multiple hundreds of years of slavery and Jim Crow and segregation that existed, in which literally we'd have to balance it out in order to be able to meet that particular criteria. So if you want to talk about balancing it out, if you want to ensure that, well, then it could be hundreds of years and it would be justified under your worldview because of the level of systemic discrimination that's existed in the context of our country for that long. Secondly, I want to re-ask the question that you never answered. Name one time that Charlie Kirk said that a woman was unqualified, or if you saw a woman as the pilot, that he would assume that they're unqualified because they're a woman. Because again, the same hiring practice you brought up included women.
He did bring that up. He did actually. He was talking about
Name
you know
one
how
time.
you guys just like I'm answering you. But my first off before so you don't forget, my question to you is when did they end affirmative action? Because it wasn't until 2023 for college admissions and this year for business. So and your answer to my question was hundreds of years. Disagree. Couldn't have disagreed harder, Parker. Completely disagree. But to answer your question, Charlie Kirk brought up how there was 3 black women that were DEI hires, and then you guys tried to spin that, and everybody's trying to spin it as, oh, he said black women lack the brain capacity or whatever. That's literally, I'm answering your question right now. He did call out some women for being affirmative action hires, in which one of them completely agreed with him on camera and said she was only got her job because of affirmative action. Everything I say is linked. Public discourse, episode 40 on my YouTube. Every bullet point about Charlie that you guys try and spew with your sick lies about a great American hero. It's all right there for you. So did that answer your question? He did bring up women.
No, because he didn't go on a plane and say because he saw a woman in that position that he's going to assume that she's unqualified. Okay? One, that's not something that's justified based upon DEI because, again, it requires qualifications in order to become a pilot in the first place. Two, it was not the conditions in which I asked you for, right? You didn't actually provide that. If you'd like to respond to that, go for it.
Yeah, so I stand by what I just said, that they can hire, because there's all these court cases that, sure, man, I'll message you even. I'll give you all of them. It's not that hard to look up. Thousands of court cases where a less qualified person got the job over someone else.
That's not what I asked you for. I'm going to repeat my question one more time because apparently you have an issue with listening.
I'm telling you, it's plausible for the pilot.
You have an
thing.
issue
He's
with
not
listening.
wrong.
He has an issue with active listening.
Well,
okay?
I feel like
I asked
you
you a
have
specific
issue, my
question and
guy.
you're
You have an
purposefully
issue
not engaging with my question.
Wishing death on those that you disagree with.
I didn't
making
wish
fun of
death. I
deceased.
never did.
You You're right. You didn't wish death on.
That's
well,
dishonest. That is so dishonest for you to say
You
that I
did-
wish death when I never did that. That's so
Well, you made
dishonest.
fun of
I'm
it.
sorry. That is so dishonest. Can you acknowledge that's dishonest, especially when your side called for the execution of some Democrats?
Well, on that point, first off, you didn't wish death on anybody. I take that back, but you made fun of a deceased man. It's almost just as bad.
Wait,
Now,
when
your
you say
point of
made
wishing
fun, I
death
called
on
him a
Democrats-
racist. You just called me a racist.
People, excuse me.
No, excuse me. Respond to my points. You never do.
I'm trying to right now, but you muted me. I want to respond. You said your side wished death on Democrats. What do you mean by that? Could you elaborate, please?
Yeah, Donald Trump himself reposted someone saying HANG them, George Washington would. He said that seditious behavior was punishable by death and said that they engaged in seditious behavior themselves for calling for people who are service members to not follow unlawful orders.
Yeah, so the response to that is the seditious behavior that they were doing with him saying, and you just said it correctly there, him saying it's punishable by death is true. That's a fact. It's punishable by death, the act of sedition. Him retweeting somebody that said George Washington would hang them, let me ask you, do you think George Washington would hang somebody if they did a seditious act?
No. It wasn't just that George Washington would say that. It's that they said to do so. They said HANG them, George Washington would.
Sorry, I
they're
talked to Dean about
so,
this. He
So
showed me
listen,
the
can I
tweet
please finish
and proved
speaking
my
without you
point.
cutting me off?
Well, you
I'm
just-
trying to
go
speak,
ahead.
but you
Go ahead, buddy.
You cut me off like every single time I speak,
Fake
but then
news.
complain
Go ahead.
every single time. No, it's not fake news.
Go
You can
ahead.
watch the video
I'm
that you're
saying
recording
go
right
ahead.
now
Stop talking about it and say your point. Go.
because you're cutting me off.
Go ahead, buddy.
So they said HANG them, George Washington would. Did you just got a flag for her? Do you have a second account?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll see you another time. Honest man, honestly, good luck out there. I'll see you another time.
What's your second account? I'll talk to you right now. Let's finish the conversation. If you're scared, you'll run away.
Well, I want all my donations to come to this one, so I get my $5.
That's
I'm
embarrassing.
not scared of you.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Well,
you
wait.
won't
Can
do-
I just respond,
you
or do you
won't
have to
do-
kick me?
I
Can
have
I
to because
respond
it's a TikTok flag. I have
Can
to
I
kick
come
you.
back up? Can I come back?
I just told you can come back up on another account, but you said you didn't want to do so because you wanted your $5. Jesus Christ, dude. So he said, the repost said, HANG them, George Washington would. So it's not just saying that George Washington would, it's also telling him to do that, and then Donald Trump reposted it. So he's sitting there being dishonest and disingenuous, saying that I was calling and wishing for the death of people, which I was not. That's a complete and utter fucking lie, right? While simultaneously supporting a person for president who literally did call for the execution of some Democrats who just said do not follow unlawful orders, which is what people should do based upon the Constitution. You should not follow unlawful orders based upon what the Constitution says. So it's embarrassing that he has to lie about me in order to try and take away from what I'm saying right now on the live stream instead of actually legitimately arguing against it. Plus, he never even responded to the point about what I said in terms of naming a particular woman that Charlie Kirk referred to as a quote-unquote bad pilot or not qualified just because they're a woman, or he's scared because they're a woman in that context, which is obviously a ridiculous statement. Even if he did, still would be ridiculous. Secondly, it doesn't make sense that he would be making that claim because, again, they had to have qualifications to get into that position in the first place. And then also, like, he said thousands of different court cases that have done this. He doesn't have a source for that at all, of thousands of different court cases. Also, I don't even know what this guy's name would be on his new account, so I'll look, though. I have a few people to thank. Brian, thank you so much for the $5. Charlie's a racist? Absolutely. He called, by the way, the guest called me a racist, but had no fucking reason for that, and then said that was, like, some insult that was so terrible. Like, dude, Jesus Christ. That's so fucking embarrassing. Kiefer, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $100 on Venmo. Give me some W's for Kiefer in the comment section right now. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. No, seriously, though. Thank you so much, Kiefer. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the $100 on Venmo. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. No, literally, though. Lena, thank you for the $10. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. You have to have 4 different types of licenses. Exactly. 1,000 plus flying hours. I know, literally. Taylor, thank you so much for the $5. Really appreciate it. Jalen, thank you so much for the $3. Nicholas, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you so much. Feisty with the $50 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Feisty. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Morgan with the $2. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Emily, thank you so much for the $2. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I definitely think that's an absurd standpoint, to be totally honest with you. I don't think that's a good way of referencing it. I think it makes it very confusing when you use the term in that way. Emily. Lucian, thank you so much for the $5. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I don't have the ability to fully look through all my DMs right now. I do apologize. I can try to look at it later, though. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Get some W's for them in the comment section. I have some people to thank on YouTube. And then we're going to go on to the next person real quick because I don't know what person, I don't know what their name would be on their other account. Pamela, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $20 on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much. Put some W's for Pamela in the comment section right now. Thank you so much, Pamela. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Angela Nader, thank you so much for the $5 for $5 to you and not the caller. Ash, thank you for the $20. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I know, right? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Harriet, thank you for the $5. Brand, thank you so much for the $5. Rohit, thank you so much for the $8. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. No, it's crazy. Humper, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $5 as well. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Feisty again with the $10. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Royland, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $5. Timothy, thank you for the $5. Ruby with the $2. Decito, thank you so much for the $2. Dermian, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $5. Master, thank you for the $2. Jake, thank you for the $2. Valerie, thank you so much for the $10. I really appreciate it. Pamela, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $5. Doug, thank you for the $5. Nestor, thank you so much for the $10. I really appreciate it. Docito, thank you for the $5. Attack on Pony, thank you so much for the $10. Priscilla, thank you for the $2. Rachel, thank you for the $2. Hoppy, thank you for the $10. I really appreciate it. Christina, thank you so much for the $5. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, actually crazy. Fabio, thank you so much for the $5. Simon, thank you for the $2. Thank you. I think I'm fully caught up, everyone. Only do send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Alrighty, let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Slip, thank you so much for the $5 as well. Thank you so much. Yeah, he's very ridiculous. Very ridiculous. And he's not even joining the guest box back. Embarrassing. I tell you that. He's so scared. What a coward. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hello. 19.
Do you support Trump?
Yes.
And you said you're 19. What's your birth year?
2006.
In what month?
July.
If you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Donald Trump.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
Because I've been up here before, just to let, I know it's on the rules. But
Okay, well, when was the last time you were up here?
like a month ago or more, I don't know.
Okay, you can hop back in the guest box. If I can't find anyone else, I'll keep you up, but otherwise I am going to look for someone else right now. But just hop back in the guest box.
Alright.
I don't have that many guest requests. I have like 12 guest requests right now. If I can't find someone, I'll talk to you.
Alright.
For sure, for sure. Alrighty. Let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. Alrighty. Do give it a second, everyone. Yeah, what's up? How old are you? I like how that guy literally didn't come back on his second account. That's so embarrassing. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen.
Hello?
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 18, bro.
Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
And what's your birth year?
2007, July 15th.
And you said you're 19?
18.
Okay. And do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Okay. And if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
Okay. Why do you support Donald Trump?
Because I agree with his immigration. I agree with ICE. I agree with there's one big thing I didn't like about Biden and how he was handling it. Let's say there's Russia.
I can barely hear you. Can you fix your microphone?
Is this good? Is good?
Yeah.
So I didn't like how Joe Biden handled the Russia-Ukraine war. I think we should have talked to Russia and been more open with Russia and communicate with them easier. I think that would have helped end the war than just fund Ukraine a lot instead. And I think Trump understands that. I like how we're negotiating with Russia now. I think that's gonna help end the war. I also agree with his policies with ICE. And yeah, I could explain more, but I want to let you talk as well.
So I don't think the negotiating with Russia has actually led to better circumstances. I think the negotiations with Russia actually create better conditions for Russia themselves and not for us fighting against Russia, because Russia, historically speaking, has not even engaged with these particular agreements in a positive manner. Right? I do think that they've actually agreed to things and then not upheld those agreements. For example, there was an exchange of prisoners that Zelensky is referred to that they did sign on both sides, and they didn't uphold that. There's the Budapest Memorandum, which Russia signed and they didn't uphold. So historically, they have plenty of different agreements that they have signed that they did not uphold. And the agreements that are being established, that are being talked about by people specifically that are foreign policy advisors to Trump, that are going to people in the Kremlin that are telling them what to say, inevitably speaking, will lead to no ability for Ukraine to join NATO, which ensures that they don't have sovereignty, because Russia will just be able to invade in the future after they get all their resources back together.
Well, I don't think Ukraine has to join NATO, and I support Ukraine. I'm not pro-Russian. I'm pro-Ukraine. I don't think it's like a need for Ukraine to join. I don't think if the only way they'll be safe is if they join NATO. Also, I don't hear you.
Yeah, I muted myself because I was gonna blow my nose. But so I do think it's the only way they have sovereignty. Can you explain to me how they would have sovereignty without joining NATO?
We could give them a security guarantee, as like the United States giving them a security guarantee. But
That's literally the Budapest Memorandum. Okay.
Yeah, but the war is still going on, though. I think if the war ended, and we have like United States security guarantee, I think Joe Biden. I don't think Russia would have invaded Ukraine if Trump was in office. Do you like agree with that? Because I know he says that a lot, but I think I actually agree with him on that.
You have no evidence of that. And also, again, my point is clear, is that if you just say that a United States security thing, specifically with a security agreement, saying that they would defend Ukraine if Russia invading, is exactly what we've already had, which led to the invasion of Ukraine. Okay? So this argument you're providing right here is atrocious. It does not create the sovereignty for Ukraine that you think it does.
What you're saying isn't even realistic, though. Do you think it's realistic for Ukraine to join NATO?
I think that's the only way to ensure sovereignty. So the only way they should accept an agreement is if they join NATO, in terms of the rest of Ukraine that they would have access to. Otherwise, we should defend Ukraine so that they can't, so that they can essentially stop Russia from invading continually, because that's the only way to do so.
I mean, I disagree. I think it's better to look for like a realistic solution instead of just, I mean, I think Russia put out
those two are the realistic solutions. You didn't actually give me any realistic solution.
How is Ukraine joining NATO? Like, Russia's never going to accept that, and just like a never-ending war at that point.
Yeah, they're never going to accept it, so you have to force them into that by literally making it so that they cannot go any further. It could be because economically speaking they can't. You have to force Putin into submission. He's not going to do so otherwise. Okay, that's just the reality. I'm sorry that you don't want to hear that. That's the reality. That's the only mechanism you have for ensuring Ukraine's sovereignty, is literally forcing Putin into submission.
I mean, I kind of see what you're saying, but honestly, I think it's like, I think you're kind of like over exaggerating how like strong Ukraine is. I don't think like at how it is now, I don't even think we could do that with Ukraine, with how Ukraine is right now.
We had the ability to do that. We were on trend to do that until Trump got in office and then literally got rid of the funding and then brought it back and then said that he's on Russia's side and then he said I was on Ukraine's side and then he just keeps going back and forth. Yeah, he just wants to be told that his penis isn't small. He doesn't actually want to protect Ukraine. He doesn't actually want to ensure that Russia doesn't have the ability to invade the rest of Ukraine. He wants people to tell him his penis isn't small.
I mean, I think he cares more about ending the war than picking a side. Really.
Yeah, he just keeps going back and forth because he's trying to get this quote-unquote peace agreement that's not going to actually be a peace agreement. It's just going to ensure that the next set of circumstances would be that whenever they build up their resources again, they're just going to invade Ukraine again. And then what are they going to do? They're going to blame the Democrats again. Venom, thank you for the corgi.
I see what you're saying on that. I understand what you're saying on that, actually. So, you want to talk? Can we talk about ICE now? Like, I understand what you're saying about the Trump-Ukraine thing.
Okay. What about ICE?
Do you support ICE?
So I support border enforcement existing, but I don't support how ICE is currently operating. I think that ICE currently is operating without the use of protecting constitutionally protected rights. I think they're doing so violently, and I think that they're not upholding what we should be. I think they're going after those over 70% of people detained by ICE have no prior criminal record, are not a threat to the safety and security of our community, yet that's who ICE is focusing on. So I would like to have border enforcement that focuses on people who have committed violent crimes and bad crimes, and not people who have no prior criminal record. So I think that every undocumented immigrant in the country who hasn't committed a violent crime or bad crime should be given a pathway to citizenship where they don't have to leave the country. And then I think that we should make the legal immigration process go significantly quicker, which would actually provide a legitimate incentive for people to go through said legal immigration process. And if they aren't, it's likely that they don't meet that set of criteria that we're mentioning, meaning that it would be good for border enforcement to go after them, because that would be protecting the safety and security of our communities. Right now, they are actively a threat to the safety and security of our communities.
Well, I don't agree with that because I think if someone comes in the country illegally, I don't think you should give them like a pathway to citizenship, even if they're not a criminal. I think they should just be kicked out and then come back like legally.
Yeah, but the reality is that particular process that you're mentioning creates an incentive for them to not vet themselves or identify themselves to authorities and stay in the country undocumented, right? Secondly, it also creates conditions where, again, right, over 70% of people who are detained by ICE have no prior criminal records, so they're focusing most of their time on people who are not a threat to the safety and security of our community. I actually care about the safety and security of our community, rather than just violating the law. Because again, if you did care about just violating the law, then you would have an issue with Donald Trump violating constitutionally protected rights and ICE doing that as well. Like in deporting people.
A little.
What's that?
I think you switched the subject a little bit. I'm just saying that.
That's not. We're still talking about ICE. How is that switching the subject, saying that they're violating constitutionally protected rights?
No, because you brought like Trump into it. I'm not really talking about Trump in this aspect. I'm talking about
We're talking about Trump's policy on ICE comparative to the Democratic policy, or what my policy would be.
I think if someone comes into the country illegally, even if they're not like a threat or anything, I still think they should be like deported, and then they could come back again legally. I think that's a better option than giving them a pathway to citizenship, because it shows it shows that you're a sovereign nation. Like, you know, I think if you let people come in your country illegally and then you just get a pathway to citizenship, I don't think that shows that, you know, you're like a sovereign country with like that actually enforces their laws.
Okay, so I do think it's a sovereign nation. We are enforcing laws. We're just enforcing the laws that keep us safe rather than enforcing unnecessary laws. And if you want to talk about enforcing laws, then how can you say we're enforcing laws while simultaneously violating people's due process rights?
What? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
How are we upholding laws while violating people's due process rights and deporting them?
How is it violating rights to deport an illegal person or undocumented?
Yeah, because the Constitution indicates everyone within the jurisdiction of the country gets due process, and him expanding expedited removal reduces access or increases the amount of reduces access to due process by specifically ensuring that instead of it being applicable to people who are within 100 miles of the border and within the country for less than 2 weeks, it's now applicable to those that have been within the country for less than 2 years and to anywhere within the jurisdiction of the country. So that heavily expands expedited removal, which violates due process rights.
I mean, how long would that even take to give due process to every single...
It's really hard to hear you right now, man.
How long would that even take to give due process to every single... Like, how many illegal people do we even have in our country right now? I think like 50, like how much? I think about 40 million. That was
40 million? No, we have nowhere near 40 million. It's around 11 to 14 million. Now, if you want to reference how long would that take, well, couldn't you say the same thing as an immigrant coming to our country? An undocumented immigrant would say it takes too long to go through the legal process. It costs too much to go through the legal process. So why would I do that? So the same reason you just said it was justified for Donald Trump and his administration to violate the law is the exact reason you would say it's then justified for undocumented immigrants to do the very same thing.
Yeah, but I don't think that one is justified because, like, you know, I think because if you allow that, then that just gives a sign for everyone to come in, that whoever wants to, you know?
It's not a sign for everyone to come in if you've committed a violent crime or bad crime. Again, in that context, you are not allowed to come into our country. If someone's been held civilly liable of sexual abuse, they should not be allowed to come into our country. But apparently you believe that they should be allowed to be president.
I mean, I think it's very hard to I think the thing is, Trump is such a big profile person. Like, so many people want to ruin his name. So I think it's very hard to build like a very good case against him. I think by the way, I think people who grape should get the death penalty. By the way.
Okay, so then you think that Donald Trump shouldn't be alive?
If it's true.
It is true.
I
He was
agree,
held
yeah.
civilly liable unanimously amongst a jury of 9 people for forcefully penetrating E. Jean Carroll's vagina against her will. There's 26 different people that have accused him of sexual misconduct. Do you think every single one of them are lying?
I mean, I'm not saying every single one is lying. I'm saying that the grape part might not be true because, again, as I was saying before, it's very hard to prove someone for grape if they're such a high-profile person. You know, basically half of America hates Trump, basically, pretty much. And a lot of those people would do anything to ruin his name, like literally anything.
By the way, some of these happened prior to the point in which he ran. Secondly, you said every single one of them are lying?
No, I'm not saying every wait. You're saying there's 13 people who think
There's over 26 people that have accused him of sexual misconduct. Okay? Do you think every single one of them are lying?
No, but that's not the same as grape, though.
Wait, I'm sorry. Do you know what sexual misconduct is in reference to? It's unconsensually engaging in sexual action towards them.
So, yeah, but like, does that all mean the same thing? Like grape there's no other way it can mean.
There's different mechanisms of sexual misconduct, but that doesn't mean that this isn't true. And by the way, many of them did specifically say grape, right? Now, if you want to address the conditions for that, well, then why don't you acknowledge all of the different people that have said that themselves and have specifically said that it was grape? Including Katie Johnson, who said that she was assaulted by Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump?
Well, Epstein is, basically a criminal because that was I guess was proved. But
say that again. You're so far from your mic. It's like mumbly, dude. Your mic it's really hard to tell what you're saying.
I'm sorry, I'm cooking food right now, so I'm going away from my phone a little bit.
It's okay. It's easier to hear you when you get closer.
But as I said before, do you not agree with me that Donald Trump is such a high-profile person that people would want to ruin his name? Because basically he's hated by, let's say 40-50% of Americans.
So, again, if you want to reference this, that doesn't mean that people just make up false accusations of grape towards you just because they don't like you. Because otherwise you would say the same thing about every other presidential candidate that's ever run. Couldn't the same thing be said about Kamala Harris? There's a huge portion of the population that doesn't like Kamala Harris. Would they try to create something like that?
I mean, I think...
And also 26 different people?
I mean, first of all, I don't know if I don't think all 26 people are accusing him of grape, specifically.
Does that matter to you? It is sexual misconduct. Is that not enough for you to say, oh, I don't support this guy?
Well, the thing
do you believe that?
Here's the thing. I could say, yeah, I disagree with him for doing that, obviously, but in context of being a president of him versus Kamala Harris, I would rather what he's doing now. It's not sorry, what? Kamala Harris?
Yeah.
Okay. So, if you could give me someone that's not Trump that would do similar things than what Trump's doing, who doesn't have a bad background or anything, I would vote for him instead. But we don't have that option. We only have Kamala Harris and Trump.
Yeah, so again,
Harris.
what's so bad about Kamala Harris that means that you're willing to vote for a guy that literally not only has he had 26 different people that have accused him of sexual misconduct, not only has he been held civilly liable of sexual abuse amongst an entire unanimous decision of 9 people in a jury, again, sexual abuse being forceful penetration of a woman's vagina against her will, E. Jean Carroll explicitly, and then alongside the fact that he said he dated a 10-year-old girl, he bragged about engaging in sexual exploitation by saying that he would walk into the changing rooms of naked women while they're changing without their consent when they're naked, right? And an 18-year-old came out, said there were 4 girls as young as 15 years old in these changing rooms and Donald Trump would barge in. Not only all of that, but we can also point to his destructive economic policy. We could point to the fact that he destroys the democracy of this nation, the rule of law, the court system, right? By literally undermining it, by saying that he doesn't believe the court system determining that he lost the 2020 election, by denying the courts indicating his guilt, specifically in the criminal case and the civil case, by denying also denying the result of the election is also undermining our democracy, undermining our Constitution by calling for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution, while also violating multiple constitutionally protected rights, like we've already mentioned. He's violating practically everything you see to be an American value.
Well, again, I said this before. I'll say it again. I don't. He could do like horrible shit like that, but at the end of the day, I support him in being as a context of political, in his like political ideas and him being a president specifically. I think he would do a better job than Kamala
on what?
Besides his
Just say Harris at this point, and on what?
ICE.
In what way?
Again, I said this before. You disagreed with me. I said anyone who comes in illegally should be deported.
Everyone who comes into the country undocumented should be deported. You understand that Democrats also deport those that have not committed violent crimes and bad crimes. They just do so at a lesser priority comparative to Trump. And then also they're not violating constitutionally protected rights like due process to the same extent. So if you care about upholding the law, then you'd actually agree with the Democratic position, not the Republican position.
I mean, you said before, like, in some cases, you can't do everything 100% by the law, which is basically what you said with the illegal migrants. Oh, it's too hard to
wait.
To get us.
You just said you can't do everything by the law. So then why don't you say that about undocumented immigrants? Like, I think that's incredibly disingenuous for you to say that they need to follow the law, but then Trump does not need to follow the law.
It's not disingenuous because I think there's some stuff that have higher priority than other stuff.
Yeah, I think that if anything, we're going to say how his higher priority is the president upholding the law comparative to an undocumented immigrant coming to our country. I think the president upholding constitutionally protected rights is actually at a greater priority than an undocumented immigrant coming to the country unlawfully.
No, but here's the thing. I think people coming into the country illegally is more serious than deporting them the perfect legal way.
You mean without due process and violating the law? But why? Because I think it's important that the president follows the law to a greater extent than like some random undocumented immigrant.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, well then you just conceded to my point.
Well, no, not really, because the thing is with Trump is, yeah, he has a really weird, questionable past. Like, I agree with that, but I still think like him as a president is better than, Vice President Harris. Because honestly, dude, I'm just saying I don't really know how to pronounce her first name. I'm not doing it on purpose.
Just say Harris. It's okay. It's just Harris. Okay. So then here's my point. Is there anything Trump could do that would get you to stop supporting him over Kamala Harris?
Let me think. Well, yeah, obviously, but I'm thinking for like a realistic thing that would actually happen. I'm not just going to say like something stupid. Like, I wouldn't support Trump if he dropped support, like all support for Ukraine. I think that would be pretty bad. I think if he leaves NATO, I would lose all support for him. I don't know. There's many. So
leave NATO, drop support for Ukraine. What if he called for the execution? What if he called for the execution?
I know. I saw that. I got mad about that. I swear. I disagree with him on that. I think he was like kind of crazy, like when he said that.
Isn't that a reason to like not support him though?
I think it's a reason to like be upset at him. I don't think it's a reason to just not support anything he does.
Wait, I'm sorry. So you would say that it would be reasonable for a Democrat to still support the Democratic nominee even if they called for the execution of some Republicans?
No, I'm saying, like, no, with the Democrat, like, let's say a Democrat did that, I wouldn't support the Democrat in that specific sense, but I can still support, like, other shit the Democrat does,
No, you're misunderstanding me. Would it be reasonable for a Democrat to support a Democratic candidate that called for the execution of some Republicans?
In that specific way, no.
Okay.
But in other
wait.
ways, yeah.
That's dishonest for you then. Because if it's unreasonable for a Democrat to do that, well then why is it reasonable for you to still support Donald Trump even though he called for the execution of some Republican or some Democrats?
I don't think you understood what I said. I said in that specific way, no, but in other specific ways, you can.
Wait, that's the exact context that Trump did so. If a Democratic candidate, right, for president, like say Kamala Harris, reposted a person saying HANG them, George Washington would have, in reference to some Republicans who just told service members to not uphold unlawful orders, would you say that it'd be reasonable for Democrats to continue supporting her?
In other ways, I think it would be reasonable for Democrats to say, hey, whatever she said was messed up, and then start supporting her in other specific ways that they agree with. I don't think it's like a one thing cancels out all. Like
I do think that what you just said, that with pulling out of Ukraine, or pulling out of defense of Ukraine at all, would be enough reason. That's one thing. Pulling out of NATO is enough for you to say that. But calling for the execution of your political opponents is not?
Well, I don't wait. I thought you think you were talking about lose all support, and if Trump pulled out of NATO, I don't think I would lose. I think I would lose a lot. I would lose a lot of his support. I don't think I would lose every single piece of support.
Okay, so then I'll repeat the question that I asked you.
There's always some stuff I agree with.
Is there any one specific thing Trump could do that would get you to stop supporting him?
Like fully, entirely, 100%. I mean, I feel like I'm always going to agree with some stuff he does.
No, but you wouldn't overall support him. You wouldn't vote for him.
Oh, I wouldn't vote for him at all. Yeah, if he was going to pull out of NATO. I mean, the thing is, with this Democrat thing, he didn't do it before he was running. But if he was campaigning on pulling out of NATO, I wouldn't vote for him.
Repeat what you just said. Sorry, you said if he was what?
If he was campaigning on pulling out of NATO, I wouldn't vote for him. But I know Trump does have like some beef with NATO, though. So not beef, but I know he has said some bad things about NATO, which I don't agree with that much.
Okay, so so then you're saying if he did one thing, such as calling for pulling out of NATO, you wouldn't vote for him anymore. But if he calls for the execution of some Democrats, you would still vote for him.
I would just condemn that part, and I would say like he's like crazy about that, but I would still vote for him. But can I ask you something though? Like,
so then would you say it would be reasonable for the Democrats to do the same thing with their candidates?
I think but here's the thing. I think the Democrats really have to condemn the part which they said though, and then say, okay, other stuff you do, I still agree with, but that one specific thing was messed up. I think that's a better reason. Also, can I ask you something?
Before you do, I just think that that's not true. I think that if this happened on the Democratic side, we would be held to an infinitely higher standard than you guys are. Go ahead.
Well, maybe that's not right though. I would agree with you on that, but. What do you think about the boat strikes that Trump ordered with the drug boats?
One, there was no evidence that they had DRUGS in the first place, right? None given to Congress. Two, there were actively circumstances we could point to where it would qualify as a war crime based upon the orders that they gave, which were unlawful orders, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not pivoting. I don't want to debate you on that. I was just asking you what you thought about it. Like, I don't. But
that in of itself should be enough for you to not want to support him as well.
Well, let's say there was evidence that there was drugs on it, and all of that. Like, would you then support it?
No, because I would say that they should detain. Let me explain all the conditions for this. One, that would mean that they should detain them once they get to U.S. waters. Two, what are most of the DRUGS that are coming from Venezuela? Well, it's M drug. The elevation one that's legal in a bunch of states. And then the other one is the C drug, which, by the way, this is mostly, if it's from Venezuela, it's going to Africa and Europe, not to the United States. But say it was. Why would Donald Trump pardon a C drug trafficker if it is the case that he wants to murder people who are C drug traffickers?
Wait, he pardoned a C drug trafficker?
Yes.
Why? Is there like a reason for that?
Well, he claims he doesn't think that there was sufficient reason to believe so, which there was, by the way. But he just claims that. And he says that you shouldn't just based upon an accusation make a determination like that with a president, which, by the way, is exactly the thing that he's doing in terms of murdering people off the coast of Venezuela. It's just the Trump administration accusing them, not even specific people's names, not even specific people, nothing about the conditions.
Could you give me that guy's name? I just want to like look at it once I get off. Like whoever.
Yeah, it was the ex-Honduran president. Let me pull up their name.
Okay.
I can send you a title right now. It's from NPR. Trump pardons Honduran ex-president who was convicted of drug crimes.
I really just wrote it down on my computer. I'm actually gonna look at that. I never really heard of that though. But, like, what do you? But let me ask you something. What do you think we should do to stop like the flow of illegal drugs then? Because like, I know it's a big problem here.
Again, dude, it's so hard to hear you. It's like very muffled. So what should we do to limit DRUGS from coming to our country? Well, the
Limit like
inevitable.
illegal drugs, like as a whole, really.
Well, the ones that are specifically we're referencing, C drug and M drug, I don't even think that those should be illegal. Right?
Really?
Like I'm actually serious. I don't even think that those particular ones that we're referencing should be illegal. Okay? You know how many times I've heard of college students fucking doing that? And like no one gives a fuck. Okay? No one gives a shit. Why should it be illegal within that respect in terms of criminalizing it? Now, could you say producers that are trying to distribute it to harm people are cutting stuff in it? Absolutely. Like, I want to ensure that that doesn't happen. But C drug, yeah, I don't think it should be illegal across the board. I don't think it should be criminalized across the board, especially people who are having just possession of it and not selling it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't
Yeah,
think
but
that college students who are doing it should be fucking put in prison.
Yeah, what do you think? Like, well, I know Trump designated the cartels as a terrorist group because of that. Like, do you think that was the right thing to do with him? So for them smuggling drugs?
Wait, 1 second real quick. Let me clarify. Chat, I don't think people who are using it should be criminalized. Okay? No person using it, in possession of it, should be criminalized for it. That's absurd. Okay? Yes, C drug. Yes. There's no reason at all to criminalize someone just who has possession of it, who is using it themselves. Could you say producers, people who are cutting it? Sure. But people who are using it? Absolutely not. Go ahead. Continue.
So I wanted to. So Trump designated the cartels as a terrorist group because they were bringing in illegal drugs to the country. Do you agree with that?
Sorry, repeat that one more time.
Do you think it was right for Trump to designate the cartels as like a terrorist group because they were smuggling drugs?
Well, the issue is not just like one cartel. Like, there's many cartels. So, could you consider cartels as a T group? Sure. But I definitely think that like there's an issue with classifying different ones in different ways, and I also think that, I don't think that I don't trust the Trump administration to deal with the cartels. I really don't. I don't think that they're doing so. If they wanted to address DRUGS that are brought to our country, why aren't they doing that with people who are bringing DRUGS from Mexico, for example? Why is it just Venezuela?
Yeah, I get it. Well, we are still pretty like heavy on the border with Mexico now. Like,
Wait, repeat what you just said?
We are still like pressuring Mexico and all of that to get rid of the cartels.
Hey, dude, it's impossible to hear what you're saying right now and to actually make it out. Like, is there another mic you have?
No, dude, I'm using my phone mic. I'm gonna put my phone like right next to my mouth because I put it like on my lap before and you said it wasn't
In
good. So
chat, yeah, there should not be punishment for people who just have possession who are using it themselves. I don't think we should be arresting college students that have C drug. I think that's an insane take.
Well, I think you should get them help. I don't know if it's like.
I totally agree with people who are addicted. Yeah, but
Yeah,
saying,
I agree
saying
with
that
that.
we
I
should
think we should let them
criminalize
help.
people is ridiculous, especially addicts. People, you do not want to criminalize that. It does not create better conditions for them.
If they're like selling it, then you should criminalize it.
I
probably.
already said that people who are selling, you have an argument for that.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, bro. You know. Also, the same thing with like smoking and all that. It's just, you know.
I don't think that should be criminalized.
No, I meant if you're like selling like smoking to people who aren't old enough, like stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm about to like go on to the next person. I literally can't tell what you're saying.
Dude, okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna drop, but yo, I'm gonna look into the dude you said the drug trafficker who Trump pardoned. I'm gonna look into it, bro. But I
All right.
appreciate you letting me up, man.
All right. Appreciate you coming up. Sorry, it was just really, really hard to hear what he's saying. Like, I genuinely was having such a hard time. Isn't sea drug dangerous? Yes, it is. But the issue is that people, again, who are in possession of it, who, again, are using it themselves, I don't think should be criminalized. I think that's absurd. And I don't think it's led to better conditions for people who are in those circumstances, historically speaking. And I especially don't think that people should be given the death penalty for dealing it. Like, I think that's crazy. I do not believe in the death penalty. Alrighty, let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria. List in the TikTok screen. We don't have many guest requests at all, everyone. Like, literally, like, we have practically, like, none right now. It's, like, the same trolls. Pedro, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $5. Thank you so much, Pedro. I really appreciate it. Denise, thank you so much for the $17. I really appreciate Denise. Calavera, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $5. And Margaret, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $50 on Venmo. Can we get some W's from Margaret in the comment section right now? Thank you so much, Margaret. I really appreciate W's from Margaret in the comment section right now. Thank you so much. W's for them in the comment section. Thank you so much, Margaret. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I love you so much, Parker. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Appreciate you. Jacob, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $5. Thank you. Important to clarify, you are anti-criminalization and not pro-legalization of it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm talking about not criminalizing, not legalizing it, and saying that you should just be able to go recreationally buy it on just like a drugstore. I'm not claiming that. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Or I think you need to.
Oh, you're good. Don't worry. Don't worry. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
18.
Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Okay. And what's your birth year?
2007.
And what month?
January.
Okay. And if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
Okay. Why do you support Trump?
Bro, why are you saying I'm a child? I'm literally born.
I'm sorry. They sound young. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria. Listen the TikTok screen. Again, everyone, we are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hello?
Yeah, how old are you?
Yeah, gays support Parker and Trump Autumn.
I didn't hear half of that, but I appreciate you. I heard support Parker. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 32.
Do you support Trump?
Of course I do.
And what's your birth year?
1993.
And what month?
March.
When did you graduate high school?
Early 2000s, late. Late 2000s.
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 24.
Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
If you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
Okay. And so why do you support Trump?
I want to be honest, it's because I want those big, juicy Parker cheeks. So you can...
Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Again, everyone, we are just looking for some debates. If you want to support me, as always, Venmo, PayPal, Linktree in the bio, as well as the description of YouTube. As well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat. Just letting everyone know my Cash App is still down. I might have a response in the next few days about it, but currently, as of right now, it's still down. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
25.
Do you support Trump?
Absolutely.
Okay. And what's your birth year?
2000.
And if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris.
Shut the fuck up and give me some Kirk, white boy.
Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria list on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Jacob, thank you so much again. I really appreciate the $5.
Yo.
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo, can you hear me?
How old are you?
I'm 21.
Do you support Trump?
Yo, okay. I just want to say this real quick. I have nothing against you. I was a
Do you
Trump
support
supporter,
Trump?
stuff like that. I just want to say this real quick. Here we go.
Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria list on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Nigger.
You're so disgusting. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria list on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
23.
And do you support Trump?
Yeah.
And if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
Just for that stem check, to be honest.
For the stimulus check?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the COVID one, or are you referencing like one that you think
The
you're going to
COVID
get
one
from...
or the one that's coming out soon for the tariffs.
Yeah, you're not going to get that.
Why you say that?
Because they can't afford that. How are they going to reduce the debt, pay farmers, and then also give you a $2,000 stimulus check on frozen funds?
They gonna go in debt. They gonna go in debt. They couldn't produce the last ones.
What happened to the
But they
Doge
still
check?
did it.
What happened to the $7,000 Doge check that you were going to get? Did you believe that one too?
I mean, 7,000 is crazy. I mean, whoever believes 7,000 is crazy.
Okay, well, I could say the same thing about you.
I mean, 2,000 is believable, but 7,000 is like, you know.
It's not, and even so, like the $2,000 you're going to get, I mean, that's definitely less than what you probably would get under the or under the Biden-Harris administration. You understand that the Trump administration imposing tariffs will cause an increase in $2,000 on the prices that you'll pay to a greater extent than $2,000.
I mean, everything's gonna increase anyways.
No, Trump's causing it to increase at a higher rate.
Yeah, he's trying to make us a more richer country, but also broke at the same time. Our Americans are going to be
That's
richer.
literally
our
contradictory.
economy's going to be broker. If you really think about it, though,
That's
Americans
literally
are gonna
incoherent.
be richer, and the government's going to be broker. Like, you're going to have actually have money.
Hey, I have to
to
hit a quick
live.
I have to get a quick reset of my life. If you want to come back and be the first guest, you can do that real quick. I just have to get a quick restart because I have got 2 flags already, and I don't want to lose this account.
You're good.
All right, for sure. Everyone here on TikTok, we have to get a quick restart because we've already got 2 flags already. Have to get a quick restart so we don't lose the guest box on this account because otherwise that would definitely suck. So make sure to come right back for the 4.4 thousand people. Make sure to follow if you haven't already. Again, this is Parker Get a Real Job, not my normal main account because my main account is currently banned right now because I didn't do this. I'd also recommend to go over to the YouTube and join the 3,200 people there if you'd like to. But I'll be right back, everyone. Give me 1 second here on TikTok. We'll be right back. What's up, everyone on YouTube? What's up, YouTube? YouTube's so much better than TikTok because TikTok is just atrocious with all of these flags and bans. It's actually nuts. Alrighty. Let's hit that quick restart. All right, welcome back, everyone, here on TikTok. Welcome back. Do give it a second here on TikTok, everyone. And by the way, we're about 2 hours and 23 minutes into the stream. 2 hours and 23 minutes in the stream, meaning we have a little bit still left on the live, everyone. Another hour and 40 minutes or so. Hour and 40 minutes is probably how much longer we got. Do give it a second for people to join up, everyone. Do give it a second for people to join up. Alrighty. What was that last person's name, if anyone remembers on TikTok? Let me know. Alrighty. We're gonna start getting some people up here in a second. Do give us a second. If you're on YouTube, everyone, hit that thumbs up. I think right now we're on the route to around 1,500 likes. I think we're at 1,100 right now. Let's try to get up to 1,500 if we can, everyone. Let's try to get up to 1,500 if we can. Alrighty. Do give it a second. Alrighty. What was her name? Let me check the chat. Red. I'll make sure to look for them. There we go. Alrighty, welcome back. What were you saying?
I was just saying about the stem check, but you were talking about how like this prices are going to be raised if he gives that out.
Okay, and one, you're not going to get that. Two, you understand that if they just go into debt for that harms you, right?
I mean, not really, because I mean, as American, I'm free. I can move anywhere. I don't have to physically be underneath Trump the rest of my life, or be underneath Trump for the rest of his election until election. So
you're saying you can move out of the country?
Yeah.
Where would you go to?
I'll go to Thailand.
You go to Thailand?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're only supporting Trump because you can just leave after everything bad has happened because of Trump?
I support where I live because I'm able to go wherever I want due to the conditions of what I have to do to get there, you know? But as an American,
you understand even Thailand will be worse off as well because of Donald Trump's economic policy?
It would be a lot cheaper though, because you were talking about prices. You know, the prices compared to
tariffs
here
cause
and there,
prices to go up.
But I support Trump for the stem check, man. You know what I'm saying? I was in college when I got my first stem check. So, I mean,
I have a question. Is there anything Trump could do that would get you to stop supporting him?
I mean, he's our president. I mean, there's a few things he could do. It just depends. I mean, I don't know if you can say it on TikTok.
If he were held civilly liable of forcefully penetrating a woman's vagina against her will, would you still support him?
I mean, there's plenty of people that's had allegations on them.
No, he was held civilly liable. If he was held civilly liable unanimously amongst a jury of 9 people for forcefully penetrating a woman's vagina against her will, would you still support him for president?
I wasn't there in that room. Physically, I can't just sit here and it's just like God can't punish a man unless he's seen it himself. You know, God's not going to punish you for something, and I'm not God to be able to see
you would
that.
still vote for him even then?
See, you trying to put me in a weird position. You already know what you're doing. You're trying to put me in a weird position. But at the same time, like, I'm just be honest. I wasn't there. I physically don't know. A lot of us don't even know Trump for real. We just know Trump off article. Or, you know, certain things said or television. So
you would still vote. You would still vote for him if you were held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman.
Me or him?
Yeah. I'm asking you. Would you still vote for him?
If he was convicted of that, yeah, I wouldn't vote for him.
Well, he was held civilly liable of forcefully penetrating E. Jean Carroll's vagina against her will. Look up Trump liable essay.
Him for that, but
you cut out. What'd you say?
President. I said I still don't see him being convicted as that because he's still our president. I don't think they would allow that to happen.
He was held civilly liable, unanimously amongst a jury of 9 people, and the reason why he was able to get in this position is because you voted for him.
Yeah, but at the same time, if he was convicted, even if you voted for him, he would be sitting in prison.
No, the reason why he didn't go to prison is because of statute of limitations, which means it's been too many years since the event occurred where they can't try them in a criminal court regardless of the amount of years. But that does not mean that he didn't do this.
How many years was it?
How many years was what?
when this first
The
occurred.
the statute of limitations, or when it happened?
Not when it happened.
When it happened, it was 1995, 1996.
Exactly.
What do you mean exactly?
That happened so many years ago. You're looking at a man
Wait,
that's
I'm
worth
sorry.
billions of dollars.
So you're saying if he raped someone 30
It's not
years
even a
ago?
man. You're looking at a human being that's worth millions of dollars. It could be a man or a woman. It could be a man or a woman.
If Donald Trump raped someone 30 years ago, you'd still support him? You wouldn't care?
Let's just say this. If somebody told me, without even the word of Donald Trump in it, if somebody told me somebody that's worth billions of dollars touched somebody in 1999 something,
Yeah, if they raped someone in 1995, 1996, would you be
and
okay
it
with
took
that?
until 2025,
2019 for them to come out. And by the way, it takes decades many times for victims to come out because of people like you who deny
it's
them, who don't believe
2025
them.
and he ain't been convicted. It don't seem true to me. Because last time I checked, when people do things like that or situations occurred, they get penalized quick. And they don't see a day of life until they do their time.
They don't see what?
A day of life.
So
until they
again,
do their time.
Okay, Donald Trump, 1, has not done his time. 2, I think that people who do this should be in prison for the rest of their life. 3, Donald Trump doing this 30 years ago does not mean, listen, Donald Trump doing this 30 years ago does not mean that it's not bad that he did this. And it's a reason why you shouldn't support him.
Yeah. I could understand that. I mean, somebody said that they only go to jail for a few months. Somebody as Donald Trump with the IQ and the present he makes on Americans, he would be.
Wait, do you think Donald Trump is smart?
IQ and the presence that he has on Americans, he would definitely be prosecuted a lot more.
Stop. What do you mean his IQ? You think he's smart? You think Donald Trump is smart?
I mean, he definitely makes. I mean, at the end of the day, like, he has to be smart to be in the position he's at. I mean,
no, he doesn't. He's clearly not smart. He said that windmills were causing whales to die in numbers never seen before. He said we should look into disinfectant by injection to fight COVID-19. He said we should look into using nuclear weapons to fight hurricanes. Okay? He said if Jesus were the vote counter in California, that he would have won the vote. These are just the tip of the iceberg. Okay? He said that the climate, we're going to start cooling. Or that the climate's going to start cooling. Science just doesn't know it yet. He said that Tylenol causes autism when there are studies that disprove that and say it doesn't cause autism after taking into account siblings and genetics. This guy is incoherent.
You said Tylenol?
Do you think his IQ is high?
Well, I can't take Tylenol, so I mean, it definitely does something.
Tylenol during pregnancy.
Well, I'm not pregnant and I'm a man. I still can't take Tylenol.
Okay, that's specifically to you. I don't know the reason why you can't take Tylenol, but that's specifically to you.
My girl can't take Tylenol. Like, it actually does affect certain people, like, physically.
Yeah.
I'm not even just saying that to say it. I physically can't take Tylenol.
Wait, by the way, the likelihood of both you and your girlfriend not being able to take Tylenol is actually extraordinarily low. But I just want to let you know, Tylenol is one of the only safe things that you can use. Yeah. Are both of you allergic?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, obviously, if you're allergic, you can't take it. But Tylenol is one of the only safe.
Why would
things...
I be lying, bro?
I'm not saying you're lying. I'm just saying it's incredibly unlikely for both of you to be allergic. But I'm just it's not impossible. But the point that I'm making is that Tylenol usage during pregnancy is one of the only safe things you can do to treat a fever during pregnancy.
Yeah.
So you understand that that's like...
I can understand that, though. But I mean, if you be honest, like, certain medications like this wasn't even thought about years ago. So, I mean, these are still chemicals you're putting in your body, which you don't know. I mean, how long has Tylenol been out?
So do you say that about all vaccines?
Yes, definitely. COVID vaccine, nobody knows what it's going to do to your body 10 years from now.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. One second here. one, we're like half a decade after taking the COVID vaccine. There's been billions of doses given. Okay, we know the effects of it. There hasn't been a single, out of all the vaccines that have been given out by the CDC, there hasn't been a single one where a side effect is manifested 6 weeks after injection. Or I think it was 6 months after injection.
That's cap. As soon as I took, look, as soon as I took my vaccine, and in the comments y'all can say I'm lying, I got asthma due to the vaccine. Due to getting COVID.
Oh wait, but stop. I said 6 months after injection. That wasn't 6 months after injection. 2, right? Did a doctor tell you that was because of the vaccine?
The vaccine I know it was because of the vaccine.
Did a doctor tell you it was because of the vaccine?
Yeah, I've been tested and all that. I've been tested.
Wait, so the doctor determined. So you heard from a doctor that you got asthma from the vaccine.
Look it up in articles. Like, you can look it up. COVID and the vaccine cause asthma.
No, I'm asking you.
A lot
did
of
you
people
hear that?
never had asthma.
Stop. Yeah. Did you hear from your doctor that the reason why you now have asthma is because of the vaccine? Yes or no?
Yes. There's multiple reasons you can have asthma. Definitely if you've never had asthma as a child. You know what I'm saying? So I've never had asthma, and that was one of the reasons.
Isn't asthma based upon genetic predispositions? By the way, my sisters have asthma. Okay. I don't even know if you can get asthma specifically from the vaccine. Now, could it be exacerbated? I think that there is some. Actually, it says that there isn't really like enough evidence to establish that there even is a link between the two. By the way, that's what I'm looking at in terms of studies. Yeah, very vague stuff. So maybe that's true, but like, I mean, did you? I doubt you heard that from a doctor. I really doubt it.
I'm telling you, I'm really being like factual when I say that. Like, I'm not just saying it, say it. Cause you named off a lot of things, and out of everything I said, like, it dead ass did. The vaccine, it was the first vaccine.
Which type of COVID vaccine did you get?
Hold on, let me look in my wallet. Matter of fact, because I have the card that they give you. I gotta find my old wallet.
Okay. Holly, thank you so much for the $2. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Can we get some W's for Holly in the comment section right now? Thank you so much for the $2 on Venmo. Oh, thank you so much, Holly. That's so kind of you. Thank you. Mo, again, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $1. Thank you. Maybe we will. That's funny. Christopher, thank you again. I really appreciate the $3. Thank you. I get you. I definitely might sometime.
I don't know exactly which one it was, but the first, when the first vaccination came out, that's the one that I took. It's in my old wallet. My vaccination card, my old one was.
Was it Pfizer?
Was that the first one out? I don't know exactly which one it was because I don't have the card sitting in front of me.
I'd have to check. Zach, thank you so much for the $10. Soul, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $2. Thank you. Noel, thank you for the $2 as well. Queen, thank you so much for the $10. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Hope you've had a good day so far. Ash, thank you for the $2. Thank you. Corey, thank you for the $5. Chris, thank you so much for the 5 as well. You just got a misinformation flag, by the way. Surprising, honestly. B, thank you for the $5 as well. Let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Jeez, the mucus is so bad, chat. This, I feel like I've been sick for so long. Alrighty, let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Thankfully, I restarted everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Play Farm Sim Parker?
Diabolical? Diabolical? Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, I'm 21. I was on here with you a minute ago. Can I say something real quick?
You don't support Trump, do you?
Listen, no. Listen, I do.
Okay, well, I don't believe you because you came up with my live and you were just trying to say something. Hey, by the way, everyone, don't just try to use my live to say things. I think it's kind of rude to do that. You don't meet the criteria, so please don't do that. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Yo, what's up? How old are you? Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. If you want to support me, as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description of YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, I'm 23, and I'm
Do you support Trump?
Yes.
And what's your birth year?
2002.
Okay, and if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Donald Trump, 100%.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
His policy.
Such as?
The biggest one would probably be that, honestly, he makes me horny. Horny! Trump makes me horny! Horny!
I don't understand what the point is of doing that. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria. Listen to the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Let's go to the next individual. Only do send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria. Listen to the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
21.
Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
What's your birth year?
1704.
And what month?
My social too.
What month was it?
August.
Okay, and if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump, for sure.
Okay. Why do you support Trump?
Well, that's the thing. I don't support him anymore, really. I mean, I was. If you would stop.
So you wouldn't vote for him if you could right now?
If I could vote for Donald Trump right now, I would, yeah.
Okay, why do you support Trump
Over
then?
Kamala. Because Kamala is a hypocrite. She's a liar. She's honestly a reptilian. She's evil. Just like the Democratic Party. It's that simple.
You're trolling.
I'm not trolling.
You do not
and
think she's a
do you know what? Hey,
reptilian.
do you know what? Hey,
Stop,
listen.
stop,
Do
stop,
you know what's
stop,
even funnier?
stop,
No.
Stop.
No, because I could expose you right now.
You think that Kamala Harris is a reptilian? Like other Democrats? So do you think I'm a reptilian? Unmute yourself. Do you think I'm a reptilian? You gotta click the microphone on the bottom right.
Yo.
Yeah, you do? You think I'm a reptilian?
No, I don't. I could expose you on something real quick though. Like it's simple. Do you know what the Bohemian Grove is? Don't kick me. Do you know what the Bohemian Grove is? Illuminati. Okay. Do you understand that more than half of the Democratic Party and Republican Party has, like, president-wise, has been a part of that? And do you know what they did in the Bohemian Grove?
What's your source? What's your source?
What's the source? There's evidence.
And that evidence is?
Witnesses. People talking about it.
Wait,
the president.
Wait, so to clarify, you accept witnesses, correct?
That's like saying the Epstein files aren't a fucking thing. It's obviously a thing, correct? Epstein is evil.
Stop.
Exactly. Okay.
How about this?
But you want to say,
hey, respond to what I have to say, or I'm going to kick you. Okay?
Yeah, because I'm gonna expose you. It's that simple.
No, because you're not responding to what I have to say.
Okay, go ahead.
Answer my question. Did you hear what I said? Do you accept witnesses?
Do I accept witnesses?
Yes.
I mean, if there's more than a certain amount of witnesses that are saying the same exact thing.
How many?
Depends. What do you mean? That's like
how many witnesses do you need in order to say that this happened? All saying the same thing.
If I could have one witness that is saying something that's equivalent to the proof from now, because I never went into too much depth with this, but all I'm trying to say is...
I asked you a question. I'm going to ask you one more time. How many witnesses do you need?
Millions. There's millions of witnesses.
Millions. You need millions of witnesses?
There's facts. There's proof.
There were not millions of witnesses that saw 50% of Democrats at Bohemian Grove. What the hell are you talking about? I'm asking you, how many witnesses do you require?
I don't know. Okay, I'll just say I don't know. I'm not
sure.
How
about this? How about over 20?
Okay, let me say something to you though.
No. Would you be okay with over 20? Unmute yourself. Tell me, would you be okay with over 20?
By the way, I'm not muting myself. It's your mods muting me, so.
I muted you myself.
Okay. Well, what do you mean 20? What are you trying to say?
Is 20 witnesses enough?
20 witnesses enough? It depends. I mean, I don't know where you're trying to get at with it, but maybe I don't know the
You don't
certain
know?
amount. But
So 20 witnesses might not be enough?
okay, can I say something to you?
I don't even think you have
don't
20
know.
witnesses for Bohemian Grove.
Okay, can I explain something to you though? Do you okay, say yes
If
or no.
you respond to what I have to say. Wait, I'm not
Yeah,
answering
20
your
20
questions
witnesses.
directly.
Sure,
If you're
20
not
yes, 20
You know
witnesses.
what?
There,
You
I'll
know
say
what?
it, 20 witnesses.
Okay,
There you go.
okay, so then you do accept the 26 different people that have accused Donald Trump of sexual misconduct as they've witnessed it happening to themselves. They're all saying the same thing. You accept that, right? You accept that did happen.
Yes. Let me say this to
and
you.
yet, and yet you still support Donald Trump?
No, I don't. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
Okay. Let's go to the next individual. Only sending ask requests if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Such a waste of time, dude. Saying Kamala Harris is a reptilian is fucking nuts, by the way. Fucking nuts, dude. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
19.
Do you support Trump?
Absolutely.
And what's your birth year?
Excuse me?
What's your birth year?
12.
I said, what's your birth year?
I told you.
12?
Yeah.
He was born in the year 12, everyone. He's almost 2,000, or he's actually over 2,000 years old. He was born over 2,000 years ago. Yo, what's up? How old are you? We just met the oldest person ever. We just met the oldest person in the world. He's over 2,000 years old. That's crazy. Bro could have met Jesus. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
28.
Do you support Trump?
Yes.
And if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
Okay. And what was your birth year again?
11/11/97.
And okay, so why do you support Trump?
Because you know the felony case you always preach about, it's an appeals court, and once it's done, he's not gonna be a felon anymore. And the Stormy Daniels, that defamation case, it was dismissed.
Stormy Daniels wasn't a defamation case. I don't know what you're talking about. No, it wasn't.
It was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it
Yes,
wasn't.
it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. Check it. Check.
I did. Stormy Daniels is who he had sex with. Wait, stop. Stormy Daniels is who he cheated on his wife with while she was pregnant. Okay, and who he paid hush money to. Okay. We're talking about E. Jean Carroll. That was defamation. And that has been appealed, and Trump lost the appeal, and the judge said that Donald Trump, in fact, raped E. Jean Carroll.
Did Stormy Daniels pay Trump $600,000?
Say that again?
Did Stormy Daniels pay Trump $600,000?
Did Stormy Daniels pay Trump $600,000? No, I don't think so.
Yes, she did. Like, you don't know, Parker?
When did Stormy pay Trump 600 grand?
Check online. You sit here all day. Check it.
I have.
No, you didn't. That's why you... Oh, I have. No, you didn't.
Okay, I just got a second flag for misinformation, so I have to take another restart on my TikTok live. Do you want to be the first guest to come back?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I have to hit another restart here on TikTok because that's a second fucking misinformation flag that I've got for today. So make sure to follow me here on TikTok. I'll be right back here on TikTok. If you don't want to deal with all these bans, I recommend to go over to YouTube. Go over to YouTube real quick, everyone. Over to YouTube. Join the 3,600 people over here on YouTube. I would really appreciate that. I'll be right back here on TikTok. Give me 1 second, everyone. They keep flagging me for misinformation. So I'll be right back. In the meantime, I'm going to look and see if the 600 grand. Stormy. Oh, I've got to cut myself off. Stormy Daniels. Pays Trump. Alrighty. Whoa, I actually do see this. They're actually not even. Why does Stormy Daniels? Yeah, Trump wins $120,000 in legal fees from Stormy Daniels for what? Okay, wait. There actually is a defamation lawsuit. That's actually a thing. This ruling is not legally connected to the Manhattan investigation that tied Trump with 34 felony counts. What'd she have to pay for? Wait, federal judge dismissed the lawsuit saying that Trump's tweet. Daniels tried to appeal her decision in 2022, saying her then attorney filed a defamation suit without my permission against my wishes, but the judge ruled against her. Daniels subsequently filed a motion to knock down the fee payment on Tuesday. What is it for, though? I think okay, so they accidentally did a defamation thing and she didn't want that. In 2018 she tried to sue him for defamation. Oh, okay. Alrighty. Okay, I didn't even know about this. That's interesting. All right, we'll bring them back up. What was their name, everyone? I forgot their name. Welcome back on TikTok, everyone. Someone said apologize for the call. I will once he gets back into the live. Yeah, A's not in the guest box right now, everyone. But 600K wasn't it? It was it's 120,000 according to NPR. Alrighty, do give it a second. I don't see them in the guest box, so I guess we'll look for someone else in the meantime. Why'd you restart? Another misinformation flag. I got 2 today, so I gotta restart so I don't get banned. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
31.
Do you support Trump?
I do.
If you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Donald Trump.
He's in the chat. He's not in the box, though. He has to send a guest request. So why do you support Trump?
He's ended 8 wars in 9 months, 10 months.
He's ended 8 wars? Can you name them?
India and Pakistan. Israel and Gaza.
Wait, can we stop? Can we stop there? You said Israel and Gaza, by the way, which that's just not true. Literally, it's still ongoing right now. Secondly, with India and Pakistan, both sides did not say that Trump was the reason why this led to the peace agreement. And then also, were those the only 2 you mentioned? Because those were both not examples.
Wasn't the Thailand, Malaysia, wasn't that another war?
What else?
I don't know. He always says 8 wars he ends.
That doesn't mean he did so.
He's the speaker of truth, bro. What are you talking about?
You're trolling, right? And by the way, Thailand and Malaysia? What? Are you referencing Cambodia and Thailand?
Cambodia, that's it. That's it. Yeah. Malaysia, Cambodia, same thing.
That's not even close. You're trolling. I feel like that person's trolling. So we're going to go on to the next person. If that person's in the guest box, I'm waiting. I don't see A in the guest box, everyone. They're still not here. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
29.
And do you support Trump?
Yeah.
What's your birth year?
96.
If you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
Basically, because I think he'll, like, collapse things, and that will drive people to, like, socialism.
Your view essentially reduces down to you would support Hitler in Germany because you think it would bring about socialism.
No.
Why not? What's the relevant difference under your perspective?
One's like a maniac who does mass, like, atrocities, and the other is...
Wait. You don't think Trump is a maniac who does mass atrocities?
No, I mean, there's a clear difference between the two. I don't really... Do I have to explain what the difference is?
Okay, wait, so then what... Okay, so at what point would you say that someone's so bad insofar as that you're not willing to support them because it will bring about socialism?
When he wants to commit the worst war in human history?
So not at calling for the execution of your political opponents, being held civilly liable of sexual abuse, bragging about engaging in sexual exploitation, saying you would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years, passing policies that cut people off of free school lunch and breakfast for children to the degree of 420,000 children on average every single month, 2.5 million people off their access to food stamps on average every single month, and over 10 million people off their access to health insurance, while adding $3.4 trillion to the debt. Explain to me
Yeah, so
how...
that's not, like, the worst war in human history, so, yeah. See
No,
the
again,
difference?
no, at what point would you say it's so much insofar as that you wouldn't support him? Does it have to be that they literally engaged in the Holocaust, or you only draw the line once the Holocaust
that's, like,
starts?
a big difference.
So would you have supported Hitler? So then, would you have supported Hitler prior to the Holocaust happening and prior to World War II?
No, because he was explicitly advocating for, like, a giant war that would unalive millions of people.
He
So
wasn't
I think that's
explicitly saying that the
I
whole
think
time.
that's a little
just
too
not
far.
true. Wait, stop.
But if you're
Where
gonna
d-
be like evil,
Wait, stop.
you're
That's
not
not what
gonna
he
do
never.
that.
He never
That's fine.
specifically said that he just wanted to kill millions of people.
He
from the
did
beginning.
though. His book said that.
Wait,
he wrote his book
wait.
in prison.
Mein Kampf does not say he wanted to kill millions of people. At least to my
Yes, it
understanding.
does.
Wait.
You not
so-
read it? You not
no,
know
I
what it's
haven't.
about?
I haven't. So tell me what aspect says that.
So it says he wants to do the living space idea in Russia in the book.
That
He
doesn't
wrote that in, like, the
necessarily mean that
20s.
he wanted to do that.
That explicit, like he wrote what he
wait,
was
let
going
me
to do.
let me
what
let
his
me
plan
clarify.
was.
Let me clarify. So, I'm not saying I would
You
think
admitted
that he's.
that you didn't read it, so like, what's
Yeah,
the
yeah. I'm
point?
not. Yeah, of course.
I
haven't read
know
it.
about it. You don't. Okay.
That's
Just
okay.
admit
Can
your
I
loss.
finish my point?
I mean, is it going to be based on like facts?
Yeah. I don't know why you're acting like such an egotistical bitch.
Because you didn't know what it said, and then you like got mad at me because I do know what it said.
What?
And then you admitted that you don't know what you were talking about, and I do. So like, I don't know. So
Okay, so I said that I haven't read Mein Kampf, and I said you can clarify to me.
you don't
the
have to
point
read
that I
it
would
to know
make,
what it's about.
the point. Can I make my point without you cutting me off? So the point that I'm making is that people would claim plausible deniability at that point. So I'm saying your exact reasoning would literally justify you supporting Nazis.
And
Like
I said
prior
that's
to the
wrong.
World War II?
No, if you're
Wait, how about this? If
advocating
Donald
for
Trump,
the...
wait. If Donald Trump were in the Epstein files, and he did assault a minor in the Epstein files, would you still support him?
Okay, that's not the same as millions of people unalive.
Wait.
in the
Oh,
worst
so
war
you
in
would
the
still
history.
support him?
Yes, to make socialism better. Yes.
Oh, okay. So you would support a
That's the
pedophile.
rights.
You would support a pedophile?
That's the rights choice versus
Wait.
us.
Stop.
Yeah,
He just said that he would
sounds like
support a
great idea.
pedophile because he thinks it's going to bring about socialism. One, there's no
Yeah,
evidence
I
of
would
that.
support
Two,
Donald
you're
Trump
fucking
doing
crazy,
that,
dude.
and-
Wait, I'm sorry.
I mean, just admit you
That is
lost the
disgusting.
debate, bro.
No, there's no loss of the debate. You just said that you would support a pedophile who raped children.
Yeah, now you're like creating a straw man over me. Like,
That's not a
come
straw
on,
man. You just said that you would do that.
Yeah, but you're not putting the second part in the argument.
Wait, by the way, can you define socialism?
The workers owning the means of production.
Okay. I was just curious to see if you could even do that. But you understand that like, that's disgusting, right? For you to say that you'd support a pedophile because you think it's going to bring about socialism, which you have no evidence that that's going to happen?
A socialist controls New York City now.
What? That doesn't mean... Wait, what? That doesn't mean that he specifically... And by the way, democratic socialism is advocating for social democracy. Many socialists actually disagree with Mamdani right now because they think that he's not
Well,
left-wing enough.
Mamdani's not a democratic, or he's not a social democrat. He's a democratic socialist, which is what I am.
Wait. He said democratic socialists, like specifically the Scandinavian countries, not like Cuba, not like Venezuela. That's what he's
I
explicitly said
understand the
himself.
differences between social democracy and democratic socialism.
Yeah, but he's advocated for the social democratic systems in Scandinavia and not Cuba, not Venezuela, not China.
He's a he's a democratic socialist, not a social democrat.
Okay. And even then, he's advocating for social democratic policy.
Oh, he's not doing the revolution.
Wait, by the way, you said you follow his...
He's fully capable of collapsing capitalism himself. Yeah, of course he's going to advocate for a reform. Like, what? That doesn't mean he doesn't believe in democratic socialism. Like, what kind of argument is he's not literally doing the people's insurgency, therefore he's not...
Your argument was Trump's going to lead to socialism, you dipshit. What are you talking about? That was your argument.
He did.
No, he didn't.
He did.
You just said it wasn't socialism, and that they can't bring about socialism right now. You just conceded.
No, I didn't.
You
I'm
did.
saying
You literally...
one
Wait,
person
stop.
Cannot,
you just conceded. You just said that it's...
create socialism.
Oh, okay, one person can't create socialism. He just made my point. So socialism is not coming about because Donald Trump was elected, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh, so then one person can...
One politician...
One politician causes socialism under your view, then.
Oh, dude. I mean,
that's what you just
lost
that's what
this
you just
debate,
said.
Now you're grasping at straws.
You've got to be trolling, dude. You've got to be trolling. How many marginalized individuals are you willing to harm in order to be able to get
Have you
your
ever
fucking...
heard of like a straw man? Do you know what...
This isn't a straw man, dumbass. This is your literal point, okay? I literally responded to your actual point, and you're not engaging with it, okay? You said Trump getting elected will lead to socialism, but then you made fun of me for saying that his positions are not bringing about socialism right now, which is the very point you were saying was necessary in order for you to support Trump in the first place. You said you would support Trump even if he raped children in the Epstein files.
Yeah, because he'll collapse.
You are no...
capitalism.
Wait, I just want to let you know, you're fucking no different than MAGA.
Never add that part
You
in.
are no
Yeah, you
different than
never add
MAGA. You are no different than MAGA. I hate you
You're
just
a
as much.
straw-manner.
I hate you just as much. Seriously, fuck
I
you.
hate people who
You
do
just said that you would
straw-man.
support a pedophile who raped children because you think maybe socialism could possibly come from that. You are just as bad as MAGA.
And you just straw man arguments because you're grasping
What's the
at
straw man?
straws.
Tell me, what's the straw man?
You never add in you support this man, you love him, you support him.
You just said that. You
And then
said that
you never
yourself.
add
That's
in
not a
that
straw
I'm doing
man.
that to
Wait, I'm
make
sorry.
socialism a reality.
Hey, dude, you said that yourself. That's not a straw man. A straw man is when I purposely misrepresent your argument in order to argue against a position that is not as strong as what your argument was. One, your argument's not strong.
Yeah,
Two, I said
yes.
exactly what you said. That was exactly what you said. You said that you would...
That's what you're doing.
I asked you a question. Would you still support Trump if he were in the Epstein files and he raped children? And you said yes. Okay, do you want me to play back
Because
the
he would
audio?
collapse capitalism. Yes, I would.
It didn't collapse capitalism. You just said that Mamdani alone can't collapse capitalism.
Is. Well,
It's
a
not.
bunch
Capitalism
of
is not
socialists just won their
collapsing.
elections.
Capitalism is not collapsing right now.
It is.
Is this rage bait?
A socialist controls New York City.
You just said that's not bringing about socialism. And name one other
It's
socialist.
a step in the right direction.
Wait. Name 10 other socialists that are put into positions of power in the context of our system right now.
A bunch just won elections. I don't know their exact names.
Actually, name 3.
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 won their elections.
Go ahead,
A
name
guy
them.
in Maine. I don't
What was
know
their
their
name?
names.
You
Why
don't
you
know?
just Google it?
He doesn't even know the names of the people that are bringing about socialism that you're saying is justified for you to support a guy who's a pedophile who raped children, right? Under your view? Like, literally, if you were in the Epstein
No,
files,
I
you'd
don't
still
know their
support
exact
him
names,
in if he
but
were
I know how
incriminated
many
in a
there
manner in
is.
which showed that he sexually assaulted children. Because that's not the same as Hitler. That's what you just said.
That's also correct. That's not the same as the worst war in human history.
Yeah, but we're talking about a pedophile
Correct.
raping children, and you're saying that's not enough of a bad thing in order for you to say that you won't support him. You're insufferable.
And you're making straw men and grasping at straws.
There was no straw man. I literally just
because
proved to
you're
you there was
embarrassed
no
that
straw
you
man.
didn't know what his book said.
Hey, what was the misrepresentation?
You're claiming that I support him and that I love him, and you never add in the second part that he's.
I didn't even
electing
say love. I
socialists.
said you support him, which is what you said.
And you never add in the part where that makes socialists win in democracy. You always seem to casually
Which
just forget that
one?
part.
I did bring in that part. I said that. I said you literally support Donald Trump because you think he's bringing about socialism, which we proved didn't happen and isn't
Which he
happening.
is.
He's not. Trump is not bringing about socialism. If anything, we are further from socialism now because of Donald Trump.
No, we're
Yes.
not. Socialist controls New York City.
That's not an argument.
Yes, it is. That's
not
what I
an
wanted.
So you think it's justified that Donald Trump got into the position of power he did because Mamdani's the mayor in New York City? So here's my question then.
And the most
Would you-
popular politician
watch
in
this,
all
watch
of
this,
America. Yes,
watch this. You're
correct.
saying that if it was the case that we could get rid of Trump from being in the position of president ever, ensure that he never was in the position of president, you would be okay, or you wouldn't be okay with that if that meant that Mamdani didn't get into the position of mayor.
Let's not forget the Democratic Party did an
Can I have an answer to my
genocide in
question?
Gaza.
Can I have an answer to my question?
Oh, can I ask one question?
No.
'Cause you've been
Answer
asking me
mine
questions.
first. Answer my question first.
What is it?
You didn't listen?
Just repeat. Well, I was asking a question and you just kind of interrupted me. But
Actually,
yeah,
I was
I'll answer
the
your
one asking the question, and then you didn't listen to it at all and just said something random. Okay? So if you
No,
could
I was
ensure that
talking.
Trump never got into the position he did, right? But it meant that Mamdani didn't get into the position of mayor, would you do that?
So if Trump won and then it didn't cause a socialist movement, would I support him? Probably
No,
not.
you didn't fucking listen to what I just said. I'm going to say it one more time. If you don't respond to it, I'm going to kick you. Because honestly, at this point, this is just fucking ridiculous. Okay? If it was the case that you could ensure that Donald Trump was never in the position of president ever, right? That was the case. But also, Mamdani never got into the position he did. Would you be okay with that? Or would you prefer that Trump gets into the position just so that Mamdani could have gotten to the position of mayor? Assuming that the 100% no way Mamdani could have gotten to that position otherwise.
Yeah, I support Trump for allowing socialism to be popular in the United States. Yeah, absolutely.
So you would, would you support Donald Trump if he were held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman?
Yes, because that makes our side look better.
Would you support Donald Trump if he raped 100 children?
What kind of hypothetical is that?
It's a hypothetical. Answer the question.
Why do I need to answer a ridiculous hypothetical? That's not
If you
what
don't
happened.
answer it, I'll kick you. Yeah, I'll seriously kick you if you don't answer my question.
Would you support him if he took a bunch of...
You have literally 10 seconds to answer my question before I kick you.
Would you support Kamala if she...
I'm waiting for an answer.
Would you support Kamala?
If you don't answer in 10 seconds, I'm going to kick you.
On a pup?
Answer my question.
Would you support Kamala?
Okay, I'm kicking him.
If she stopped...
You're a waste of my time. Gee, I hate people like that. Those people are so fucking annoying, dude. I hate accelerationists. Literally, get off my stream, never join. If you're an accelerationist, I fucking hate you. I hate you just as much as I hate MAGA. You're literally advocating for the same shit because of no evidence that you're ever going to be able to get into a position of socialism. By the way, there's no evidence that just because of the situation we're in right now, that this is so ridiculous. There's no evidence that just because of the fact that Donald Trump was in the position, that the only reason that he was in the position, that's why Democratic Socialists were getting elected. Because, want to know what? There were Democratic Socialists in Congress prior to Trump being in office. Does he not know who Bernie is? Does he not know about other Democratic Socialists? It's crazy to assume that only Democratic Socialism can come into effect specifically by there being people like Donald Trump in office. It's disgusting. There's no evidence for it, and they're harming marginalized communities just to be able to do so. He said he thought it was preferable that Donald Trump raped children because that would make the other side look worse. That's what he said. Instead of saying that it wouldn't be preferable because grape is so fucking wrong, he's saying that grape of children was justified because it inevitably led to an ideology that aligned more with his worldview. That's insane. That's disgusting. Genuinely disgusting. No different than MAGA. That's seriously no different than MAGA. That's the exact same reasoning MAGA uses. Yo, what's up? How old are you? God, people like that really piss me off, dude. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm twerking it, Parker.
It actually genuinely just ruined my mood. Like, I'm actually so pissed now. Jenna, thank you for the $5. Thank you. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Bro, I'm 30, and this is why Piers Morgan
Do you support Trump?
Of course, bro.
And what's your birth
I'm
year?
glad Morgan put you in your place.
Cool. What's your birth year?
You're literally shaking, you're in your boots, so it was funny to watch.
Cool. So, and what's your birth year?
Born in 90.
90? And you said you're 30?
Yep.
Yeah, nice math, dude. That was some really good math you got there. Can you tell me your actual age?
Bro, I was born in 95, man.
Okay, and if you could go back in time and you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who would you rather vote for?
Well, we'll just vote for Trump. I can't stand you guys, to be honest with you.
Okay, why so?
You keep asking these crazy hypotheticals to people about Trump raping kids, bro. Like, you got a sick mind.
No, I was. It's not a sick mind for me to say that there are particular hypotheticals or extents that you wouldn't support a particular candidate. By the way, why don't you call that person sick for saying that they would support him even if they grape children?
Bro, because you're presenting stupid hypotheticals trying
That's
to
not a
trap people.
That's not a stupid hypothetical. The hypothetical demonstrates that, again, there are going to be extents in which you should not support them. Okay? If
Bro,
you
the
can't
guy is not
identify,
a-
if
no
you can't
proof of
identify
that,
that, I'm
bro.
sorry. You just don't understand hypotheticals.
Okay, did Trump rape a child?
I believe he did.
Yeah, you believe he did. Do you have evidence of that?
Katie Johnson.
No, do you have evidence of that? Do you have proof? Irrefutable.
Wait,
Yes
when you
or
say
no?
irrefutable proof, what level of proof would you accept?
Do you have proof that Trump raped a child? Do you, yes or no? That's what I'm asking.
What
you.
it? I think that there's enough evidence, given the fact that there is so many other conditions that would justify this to be the case. I think the accusation from Katie Johnson towards Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein is enough for you to believe that, because there are many of other victims that have come out and you believe the other victims of Epstein, alongside the fact that Donald Trump has had 26 different individuals come out and say that he's engaged in sexual misconduct towards them. He's been held civilly liable of sexually abusing E. Jean Carroll, forcibly penetrating her against her will. So the idea is that there's lots of evidence indicating that this is very likely to be the case, alongside everything else that we've seen.
Do you have proof, yes or no?
I just gave you it.
You don't have proof because no one does. Just because you're debating people and you make crazy hypotheticals doesn't mean you're right.
Did you hear it? Can you repeat anything I just said?
You're talking about a whole bunch of other cases that have no definitive proof that he did the thing that
Can you
you're using the
repeat anything in
hypothetical.
specific that I just said?
Yeah, you're talking about 26 people that came out and a whole bunch of other cases with Epstein that have no proof that he did that thing.
Oh, okay, wait, so you think
try and
every...
use that
So to
hypothetical
clarify,
to
you think
prove-
every single one of the 26 individuals are lying?
No, nobody has proof. That's why your hypothetical is stupid.
So what is proof to you?
Irrefutable evidence.
What is that?
That's it.
And what is that?
When you go to court, you don't go with what you think, you go with what you can prove.
Wait,
If you
wait, wait.
can't
He was
prove it, you
he
don't
was
have
determined in
evidence.
a court to have sexually abused E. Jean Carroll. Do you agree?
Is that a child?
I'm asking you. Is that enough
Is
proof
that
for
a
you?
child?
Is that
Is
enough
that a
proof for you?
child?
No. Is that
that a
enough proof for
child?
you? Is
So
that
then why
enough
do you
proof for
always
you?
bring up children?
Is that enough proof for you? Why did I bring that up? Because I want to see if there's an extent.
Why do you bring
Because
up
I'm going to
children?
ask them a question. What is the relevant difference between an adult and a child? That means in one scenario you'd vote for him, but not in the other one. Because I think both of them are excessively bad insofar as that you shouldn't support someone.
But why do you keep bringing up children? Like, what's
I just told you if you could listen, okay? There is no relevant difference you can provide of the victim being a child and the victim being an adult. That means in one scenario, it's a disqualifier, but not in the other one. Answer that. Can you acknowledge that? I just told you that now twice.
You understand that, but you just lose arguments and bring up stupid hypotheticals.
He can't even respond to what I just said. Can you respond to what I just said?
Yeah, you're doing it right now. This is how you like squirm your way out of situations.
No
bro.
response.
You know you're
No
wrong.
response. Are you coward? You can't respond?
You can't call me a coward, bro.
I can. I just did.
You can do that on TikTok, not in real life. I promise you.
I would. I would call you a coward in real life.
No, you would not. No,
Yes,
you
I
would.
would.
Not.
You coward.
You would
You
shake-
absolute coward.
You would shake
You are
like
a
you did on
coward.
Piers Morgan.
You are a coward. I would
You
say
would
this
shake
directly
like
to your
you did on
face.
Piers
What are you
Morgan.
going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Coward. What are you going to do, coward?
The tough guy
I
thing
will
from
say
you
it
is not
directly to your
telling
face.
you.
What are you going to do about it, coward?
Okay, cool.
What are you going to
Okay,
do about
cool.
it? Tell me.
Does it look like I'd be scared of you?
Oh, well, tell me. What are you going to do about it?
Does it look like I'd be scared
Does
of
it look
you?
like I'm fucking scared of you? Tell me what you're going to do about it.
Well, I mean, you were the one shaking on Piers Morgan's podcast.
I'm not shaking.
I
I
mean,
never was shaking. Answer the question.
You were
What
shaking,
are
bro.
you going to do about it? I called you a coward. What you going to do about it?
bro, man, you're not tough, man. Give it up.
Answer the question. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to run away?
No. I wouldn't.
So then
run
answer
from
the
you,
question.
bro.
What the fuck are you going to do about it?
Bro, you're not tough. You're
Answer the
not.
question. You're not tough.
You-
You're telling me
you
right now
smoke-
you're
you
not.
smoke too
What
much
are you going to
weed,
do
you're
about
too
it?
emotional.
What are you going to do about it, you
You
coward?
smoke too much kush and you're emotional. That's your problem.
What are you
Look
going
at
to do about it? What are you going to do about it?
What would I do? Like, I wouldn't even bother with someone like you in real
Oh,
life.
exactly. You coward. You absolute coward. I'd say it directly to your face. You're not going to do shit about it.
You wouldn't do nothing.
I
Stop
would.
it,
I would
bro.
say
You
it directly in your fucking
you
face.
just hype on the
I would.
internet,
I would
bro.
totally
I'm
do
not-
it.
I'm not phased by you, bro.
I would
You're not-
totally
you're
do
not
it.
getting to me.
I don't care if you're not
You
phased by
wouldn't.
me. I'm not
You
phased by
wouldn't.
you.
You're 100% phased. Look how emotional you're
I'm not
getting,
phased
bro.
at all.
Relax.
I'm not phased at all.
Like, look at you. Just control your emotions, bro.
What? Because,
I think we
because
had a
I'm calling.
conversation.
Wait. Because I'm calling you out and I'm saying what you're engaging in is bullshit.
You're not calling me out on nothing.
I am.
What is there
I
to
did.
call me out
I
on?
just did. I just explained
What
to
is
you and you
there-
didn't
What
respond
is
to
there
it.
to call me out on, though? I don't
I
get
did,
it. What are you
because
calling me out on?
Yeah, I just told you. Did you not listen? You said that you wouldn't accept any of the conditions that I brought to you up about the case in terms of E. Jean Carroll being sexually assaulted. Yet you said irrefutable evidence or proof would be a
No,
jury
that's not
determining
what I
this.
said.
Wait, Wait, so then you don't think a jury determining it based upon a unanimous decision from a
No,
jury
that's not
is
what
going
I
to be?
said.
Wait,
I'm
wait.
not
So
gonna-
then you tell me right now, you coward, what is enough evidence for you to accept that someone was sexually assaulted?
Relax, bro.
Answer the question.
This guy's freaking out, bro. Relax.
He can't answer the question.
Yeah, if they proved it in court and that was the situation, then I'm not
Oh,
going to
so
say.
the civil court where it was proven amongst a unanimous decision of 9 people and a jury. Huh? Is that not enough evidence for you?
What does that have to do with a child? Why do you?
Oh,
keep
I
asking-
didn't say it did. It's E. Jean Carroll. So do you think that you would support Donald Trump even though he raped a woman?
Yeah, but why do you keep bringing?
Yeah,
up
you would.
Yeah.
Wait, you
Look
would
at
you would support Donald Trump even though he raped a woman?
You're looking for some weird clickbait, bro. This is what you did.
I'm
on the
not
fucking-
looking for clickbait. I'm looking for a response to my question. Would you still support Donald Trump if he raped a woman?
No.
No? Okay, well, you said enough evidence for you to accept. It was a determination in a court, right? Well, there was a determination in a court that he did rape E. Jean Carroll. He forcefully penetrated her against her will, and the judge himself said that Donald Trump, in fact, raped E. Jean Carroll.
Bro, you lost the debate and you start bringing up.
He's so mad. You can't even give me a response.
You're the one freaking out. You're
You're
going through
the
like a
coward.
whole
You're a
range of
coward. You're a coward that has no response. I just
Bro,
debunked
keep
you.
calling me a coward. What makes me a coward versus you?
Because
Tell
you
me.
won't actually respond to my argument. You're running away and you're trying to pivot and bring up random things that are irrelevant to the argument I'm providing because you have no basis in arguments.
You have no argument. That's why
I just
asked
did.
you
I
why
just
keep
provided
bringing
it
up
to you.
kids and start
Wait, you
talking
just said that
about
you would
other
accept
stuff.
it if a court determination indicated this to be true. A court determination
Parker,
did indicate it to be
Parker,
true.
bro,
Therefore,
bro,
you accept
bro,
it, right?
listen. Bro, listen. I literally asked you a simple question, bro.
Yeah,
do you
answer
keep
my
bringing
simple
up
question.
children? No,
Answer
you're
my
answering
simple
a
question.
question with a question. That's what you're doing right now.
No, I'm not. Answer my question.
Bro, how many times have I answered you? Be real. What did I say?
You haven't. You didn't answer this question.
Bro, I
You
answered
b-
you
do
multiple times.
You believe that because of a court determination that you believe it to be true, there was a court determination that Donald Trump raped E. Jean Carroll, forcefully penetrated her against her will. That's the colloquial usage of the term. And yet you still do support Donald Trump, right?
Bro, I said if he did something like that, no, I would not support someone.
Oh,
like
he
that. You're
did.
not listening.
He did.
You're not listening, bro.
Hey, can I
You're
hop in
not.
here real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully, I could help clear it up with Marcos here. Marcos, you seem to be very, very confused. So I'm just gonna quickly repeat a handful of things that I've heard you say since I've joined. The first thing that you said is that if grape were to be proven in court, then you would believe that it occurred. Okay? And a second thing that you said is that if it was proven that Donald Trump was a rapist, you would no longer support him as president. And the one and same thing that Parker continues to repeat that I don't think you're genuinely engaging in nor responding to is the fact that Donald Trump was proven to have raped E. Jean Carroll inside of a court. So, because of these three facts, that you would believe that an individual's a rapist if it was proven in court, you would no longer support Trump as president if he were a rapist, and Donald Trump has been proven to have raped a woman inside of a court, this would obviously entail the conclusion that you ought no longer support Trump as president. Can you engage in that argument in good faith?
That was not even the argument that was made. That's my point.
So do you reject that you said?
I'm not disagreeing with you on that, bro. I don't think anyone's listening.
So
I really don't.
So let's just clarify on a couple of key facts then. Do you reject, right, that you said you would no longer support Donald Trump as president?
Oh, bro, I've answered this like 3-4 times, man.
Well, I mean, I just popped into the conversation, so you're gonna have to help catch me up.
Yeah, I literally said to him,
you no longer support Trump as president. If you
I said if Trump did that, I would not support him.
Okay.
No, but if those are the values that you share and that's the representative, that's all you have to support.
Okay, perfect.
That's
So you
Doesn't
just
mean
said that if
the
you did
person.
that, you would no longer support him as president. Do you reject or affirm that you said if grape was proven in court, then you would believe that it occurred?
Sorry, say that again.
Do you reject or affirm that you said if grape was proven in a court, then you would believe that it happened?
Yeah, I mean that's a jury.
Yeah, dude.
You don't
okay.
know. They could have been presented the data. I don't know how it happened. I don't even care that deep. My point was not that. It was asking him why he always goes to asking about children.
This is a really tough one, Parker. So I mean, maybe we could clarify.
It's not tough. It's not tough, man. It's really not.
Do you think that Trump raped E. Jean Carroll? What if we just start there?
Based on the evidence, probably.
Okay.
More than likely. Yeah.
Help me out here. You just said that you probably think he's a rapist.
Yeah.
But like 30 seconds ago, you said if he is a rapist, you no longer support him as president.
How are you not following the conversation right now?
I'm trying my best, Marcos. I swear I'm trying my best.
Okay. So what I said is if he did that and it was proven in court, no, I would not support him. Even though I have conservative values, if he's the only representative for the party, then you would vote for the person. You don't support the person, you support the party.
Okay,
That's my point.
so because you just said that if he did that, you no longer support him as president. Less than 30 seconds ago, you said that he probably did that. That means that you're no longer a Trump supporter, right?
Well, my point is that you don't need to support Trump to be a person that supports conservative values. He's the representative of the party. He doesn't represent everybody that's in the party. I just want to clarify.
Like, with a yes or no, do you support Trump as president?
Yeah, I do.
Dude, this one might be impossible.
Because you're gonna have to support him because he's the representative. I don't support him as a person.
Okay, so then don't say that you'd stop supporting him as president if you thought he was a rapist.
Well, if he's the representative of the party, you're gonna have to support what Trump's doing. It doesn't mean I support him as a person. It doesn't represent every person that's in the country.
Okay. So grape is not a red line that you would hold against supporting somebody as a president, right?
Sure, you can frame it whatever way you'd like to, but I'm not going to keep reiterating the same thing for you to try and understand.
So now I'm just going to try to like sprinkle back in the first point.
You're doing what Parker did exactly in reverse right now, by the way, which is why I asked him, why do you keep bringing up children? Weird.
So let's go there too. So hypothetically, if Donald Trump was a child rapist, would that be a red line that you'd hold against him?
It'd be a super red line, 100%.
Okay, so I'm going to explain to you why Parker kept bringing up the fact that Donald Trump, right, is a rapist and why he kept on rapping in child rape. Because you just said right, that you would no longer support Trump as president if he was a child rapist. Yet, you've also argued that if he raped an adult woman, you would continue to support him as president. So the relevant question would be, why would you hold a red line against supporting Trump as president if he had raped a child?
Did I
But
not
you
just
wouldn't
say
hold a
that I
red
support him
line
as the president, not as a
against
person?
Donald Trump as president if
I
he raped
literally
an adult woman.
I said to you like 3 times now, I don't support him as a person, but he's supported as president as a representative.
Yeah, and that's your
That's it.
response as it would apply to adult
That's
rape.
it.
But that's not your response as it would apply to child.
Well, the reason why you try and bring it to child rape is because you're trying to use an extreme situation to put people in a corner with a hypothetical that's not realistic at all. That's what you're doing.
The reason that we're
That's
bringing up
why
child
he
rape
keeps
here,
going to children, because he
Well,
could just say Eugene Carroll.
So the reason that we're bringing up child rape here is because we believe that child rape is sufficiently extreme to stop supporting somebody as president if they do it. But we also believe that adult rape is sufficiently extreme to stop supporting somebody as president if they do it. In fact, we would argue that you wouldn't be able to point out any relevant difference between somebody raping a child and somebody raping an adult that makes it okay in one scenario to continue to support them in such a grave position of power, but not okay in the other scenario to continue to support them in such a grave
Well, the
position
whole
of power.
point is that he said he had enough proof to believe that he raped a child. That's what Parker's words were. It wasn't mine. It was his. That's what he said.
I'm going crazy.
I'm saying to him
Marcus,
that he does not have proof of any of that.
Okay. So can you reiterate the last point that I just made? Can you just repeat it?
You're asking me essentially if there's a difference between the extreme cases between raping a child and a grown woman, and if there's something I can use or provide to you as an instance where I would still support the person regardless of the situation, correct?
No, not correct. I'll repeat the point. It's okay. So the point that I like to make here is very simple. You said that if Donald Trump raped an adult woman, you may not support him as a person, but you would continue to support him as president, right? And you simultaneously said that if Donald Trump raped a little girl, you would not support him as a person, but you would also not support him as president. So I think the question that we would all like a response to is, why is child rape wrong enough to stop supporting him as president?
Well,
but
because I
adult
think
rape isn't?
children are the most vulnerable people on the planet. And I think that's the most heinous act that you can commit on the planet too. That's what I believe. I don't think there's anything worse than child rape, in my opinion. Nothing.
Okay, so you're saying that child rape is wrong enough to stop supporting somebody's president because it's really heinous and it's really bad. I agree. We don't disagree. But why do we disagree as it relates to adult rape?
Well, that whole situation with Eugene Carroll, there's a lot of nuance to it. And it was a jury that convicted him. I don't know. Is there enough proof that they convicted him otherwise? I still don't know. But if that's what they said in court, that's what I'm going with, because I'm not that fucking obtuse. That's what I'm telling you. That's the best I can make the decision based off that. But when you're talking about a child and saying you have proof that he raped a child, that's crazy to me.
So the reason why I spoke up, so you're saying the reason why you'd stop supporting him as president if he raped a child is because, quote unquote, that's crazy to you. Is raping an adult woman, quote unquote, crazy to you?
Of course.
Okay, so that should be enough reason to stop supporting him as president too.
Well,
then.
it's like I said, in that Eugene Carroll case, like there is so much nuance to it. It was a jury, by the way.
What is this
Am I
guy even
wrong?
saying?
Am I wrong?
Nobody's tracking you.
Man, like I get what you're trying to do for Parker, but because he couldn't explain himself is why you're up here. And I know what you're trying to do.
No, that's not true at all. I sent Parker a text. I was like, in queue. I was going to send Parker that text regardless of who was on his live stream because I'm finally starting to get ready to start my own live here in around 30 minutes, and I wanted to join up with Parker here for a little bit. But the reason I hopped in here and I started to go over these points myself is because obviously Parker's fucking fed up with you because he's likely been dealing with this shit for the last, I don't know how long we've been up here, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, right? And I haven't been dealing with the shit at all today because I haven't even started my debate. So I'm easy. It's easier for me to keep a little bit more of a level head compared to him for that reason.
Well,
which is, like,
respectfully,
very
Dean,
obvious,
this is what you
very
guys
obviously
do.
clear. So
Respectfully, this is what you guys do in these situations.
I think that like the only reason why you are saying hypothetically that you'd stop supporting Trump as president if he'd raped a child, but you will not stop supporting him as president even though he's actually raped an adult woman.
You did exactly what Parker was trying to do.
If you're gonna allow me to finish speaking here, right? Is because Donald Trump actually has raped an adult woman, and that's been proven in court. And you
Did you
accept
hear,
that as a
Dean? Did you
fact.
hear what Parker said? Did you hear what Parker said to me?
I
Do you
don't.
remember?
I don't think that you're hearing what I'm saying. Unfortunately.
No, because you're not even understanding what the conversation was, and you're talking about something completely different. He said he had proof enough that he raped the child. I asked him what it was. He started bringing up cases that had
Here's
nothing
what
to
it
do
is.
with
Here's
what
what
he
it is.
blamed.
I said that I had evidence to believe based upon circumstances that indicate that he's engaged in behavior like this, and I said that I believe that. Okay, and then I explained everything that Dean has explained already. By the way, the fact that it's so bad insofar as that you shouldn't support it in the case of an adult and the child, and as to why we're bringing up circumstances in terms of a hypothetical where there's a child even, right? But yes, I do believe Katie Johnson. Yes, I do believe, right? Why? Because of all the evidence indicating that Donald Trump is engaged in sexual exploitation towards adults and children. He said he would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years. Literally has 26 different people that have accused him of sexual misconduct. You'd have to think every single one of them are lying, right? He's been held civilly liable, unanimously on a jury amongst 9 people for forcibly penetrating E. Jean Carroll's vagina against her will. And even if you don't agree with me that you believe that, you still have enough reason to not support him. That's the point I'm getting to you. And I am so listen, I'm so sick. Listen to this. I am so sick of people defending grape on this live stream. It pisses me off to my fucking core, okay? It's not just you. It's the last guest I just fucking dealt with who was an accelerationist that said he would support Trump even if he graped children. Even if he graped a bunch of children.
I agree,
okay?
I agree with that. I'm not fighting
you agree
on
with that?
I'm saying to you that when you keep bringing up children as some extreme example, if it was suffice enough for you to say that it happened with Eugene Carroll, I don't know why you go to the extent to start talking about raping children. It's wild.
Well, I've told you this now 6 times. I'm going to tell you this one more time, okay? We bring up the situations, particularly in hypotheticals with children, because, right, you will not be able to provide us a relevant difference. That means in one scenario, it's disqualifying, but not in the other one. In one scenario, it's so bad insofar as that you're not willing to support someone, but not in the other one. You will not be able to provide me said distinction.
I have a question for you. Would you support someone if they are
respond to what I
racist
just
when
said.
they're okay? Well, if you would you support someone if they are racist when they're younger or when they're older? Would there be a difference?
Yes, there would be a distinction. I do believe
would
that
be
people
the
can go from
difference
being
between
racist to being not racist.
Okay, what would be the difference between if you're young and when you're older?
Because you've changed in terms of the way that you view it, in terms of the way that you view prejudice, in terms of the way that you acknowledge these types of things. You've educated yourself, you've critically thought about it, and you've changed the way that you treat people.
How do you know?
And you've
that
taken
the person
accountability.
actually changed? How do you know the person actually changed?
Because of the different types of engagements they would engage in now, the knowledge they have right now, and the arguments that they would make now comparative to what they were historically speaking.
Well,
then
yeah,
taking
I've had-
accountability. Why are you asking me this question?
Yeah,
Instead of
because-
responding to what I just said.
Yeah, because what I'm bringing it to is I'm black, right? And I've had people that have said racist shit to me when I was younger, and they've said all the things that make them sound like they're not racist, but they're still racist today. It's performative to me, is what I'm telling you. So if you're gonna hold the standard for Trump,
then if
hold the
they're
standard for the
performative, I would
people that
agree.
you
Then they're
belong.
still racist if they're performative.
Yeah, and that's my point, is that you hold Trump accountable for shit that he's done 20, 30 years ago. And when it comes to other people, like this guy Dean on your platform too, he's done heinous shit back in his past, but you guys still platform him. correct?
Wait. Can we just clarify here for one moment?
Yeah.
That although it was wrong for me to call my friend the N-word when I was 14, to tell him that his Fortnite edit was goated, right? I disagree with that. I don't think that people should be using the N-word. Keep in mind, he was a white boy himself, okay? I mean, I just don't want to make it seem like I was slurring a black person. But regardless, it's still wrong to use the N-word, right? That is not comparable in the slightest to Donald Trump raping a woman.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying to you is and
Do you think? Wait, I have a question. Do you think people should go to prison for raping women?
100%.
Do you think people should go to prison when they're 14 years old using the N-word?
No, I think
Nice
you shouldn't
concession.
be platformed. Yeah, I don't think you should be platformed though, as a person who speaks up for black people or platforms them when you've
Okay,
been
well,
doing the thing
you could say that you
people
don't
are
think that
doing.
he should be platformed. That's totally your opinion. But the point we're
Yeah.
making is that you view it differently than raping women. So can you acknowledge that point?
Well, my point is that you hold one standard in one spot and not the other, and you
Oh my
find a reason to
goodness.
justify
Yeah, you just did the
That's my
same. You
problem.
just did the same. You said one should yield prison time, but not the other one.
Well, you hold the whole standard to Donald Trump, but you don't do it for the people around you because it's convenient.
Honestly, I think
I
that
just
this
did.
is I think that this argument, it perpetuates grape culture. Like, I'm not gonna lie. For you to like sit here and compare Donald Trump like literally sexually exploiting naked little girls, raping E. Jean Carroll, to me calling my white friend the N-word when I was 14 in Instagram DMs, right? Which I'll say it again because I don't want it to seem like I'm downplaying the fact that that's wrong, and I don't think that white individuals should be using the N-word. And I'm really happy that I've like learned and grown as a person. I'm significantly better and different today at 21 years old than I was at 14. That for you to make a comparison between that and raping a woman or sexually exploiting naked little girls ultimately downplays the wrongness of raping a woman or sexually exploiting little girls. Okay, because like most reasonable people, white, right, when they like learn the fact that when I was 14 I referred to my white friend as the N-word, and then they observe the fact that since I was 14 I've learned many things about the nature of systemic racism, why the usage of slurs is wrong. I've grown as an individual and even started doing the lives that I've been running for the last 2.5 years to try to change the minds of other individuals. It's quite frankly why I do what I do. And then when individuals hear you compare that to like Donald Trump sexually exploiting naked little girls in 2005, raping E. Jean Carroll in the 90s, what that's supposed to imply, right, is that we should like kind of like forgive Trump for sexually exploiting little girls. We shouldn't care that he raped a woman. And I just find that to be like sophist rhetoric from a grape apologist to justify putting
Yeah,
rapists
you don't
in
know
the
in
most
my
powerful
life the
position
things
of
that my
office
family has
available
done.
to any
So
human alive on the face of planet Earth.
Secondly,
Yeah,
you don't want to platform racist, but yet you think Donald Trump, who's a racist, should be president?
who's more racist, Donald Trump or Dean?
Oh my
Donald
God.
Trump. Donald Trump.
Really?
Wait, I like to
Absolutely.
Do you
I'm
have
not
footage of him
racist.
saying the N-word?
Wait, 1 second. I'd like to clarify. I'm not racist. So, I mean, even just that question, who's more racist, Donald Trump or Dean? I'm not racist, okay? I'm not the one, right? I'm not the one that sat down with Sean Hannity and told them that it's okay to racially profile immigrants. I'm not the one that sat down with ABC and said that ICE isn't going hard enough when they're racially profiling people with brown skin on the streets and then throwing naked children in the backs of U-Haul vans to illegally deport them without due process, right? I'm not the one that is a consistent track record from the 1970s until today of unapologetic racism directed towards members of marginalized communities. So even the nature of your question, by nature, is fallacious.
Wait, also, Donald Trump didn't rent to black people. Donald Trump didn't rent to black people in the 1970s. He said that black people have a trait of laziness. He's used the N-word as clarified specifically by people that were on The Apprentice with him specifically. I can point to countless other examples. He popularized the birther movement, saying that Barack Obama was born in Kenya with absolutely no evidence, when actually there's a birth certificate of him born in the United States. He said that Kamala Harris turned black, indicating that she wasn't black prior. Explain to me how that's not racism.
I don't see Trump doing anything racist. I'm telling you that as a black man too. No, I don't see.
Oh my God!
I just gave you examples, and you're not going to respond?
Yeah,
well, I mean,
if I know
this guy said it, then yeah, I'm gonna think he's racist.
This has to be just like incredibly bad faith. How can you sit here and tell me, right, that you think it is racist for me to call my white friend the N-word when I was 14, but it isn't racist to violate the Civil Rights Act and refuse to rent to black people because of the color of their skin?
You think that Trump is out here as a racist that's got voted in and has that many black supporters?
Wait, you did not just not respond. Respond to Dean.
Really?
Respond to Dean right now.
No, he's not a racist. No, he's
Okay,
not.
so by the way, so Dean is racist for when he was 14 years old using the N-word to his white friend.
Why do you keep bringing
Donald
up
Trump is not
14 years old?
racist. Donald Trump is not racist, even though he literally did not rent to black people because they're black, even though he said that black people have a trait of laziness, even though he used the N-word according to people who are on The Apprentice, even though he called for the execution of the Central Park Five with literally no evidence, literally after they were exonerated based upon DNA evidence. Even though he said that Barack Obama was born in Kenya with absolutely no evidence to undermine him being president of the United States, even though there's a birth certificate of him born in the United States, even though he said that Kamala Harris never turned black, indicating she wasn't black prior, none of those things to you are racist?
Oh, or what about his like recent attack on Somali individuals
Yeah.
in Minnesota? He says that they're garbage. He says that they're all mentally deranged, escaped from prisons, members of gangs. He's
Yeah,
attacking. He's attacking. What's her name? I forget her name.
Ilhan Omar?
Yes, Miss Omar in Congress saying that she's fucking married to her brother and that she needs to be deported, even though she's a U.S. goddamn citizen. Like, what are you doing?
And he said that he doesn't want Somalians in the country. He said that too.
Like I said, you hold him to such a high standard. You guys have these platforms, and you've done the same kind of shit.
No, wait, what?
Wait, can we just clarify? Of course I'm going to hold the President of the United States of America to a high standard, you idiot.
Well,
what was the last thing that you said that like
Trump
follow
you don't hold you to a high
that Parker's
standard.
freaking out about? Parker, what did he say? I didn't even hear it.
He said that we've done the same thing. Why?
Oh my God.
When did Dean and
Dean,
no,
one-
stop. When did Dean and I not rent to black people because they're black?
Oh, no, I'll give Dean a perfect example of some shady shit he does. So
No,
you're
answer
on a
my
live-
question. Answer my explicit question.
Yeah, he doesn't have property to rent, so no, Dean doesn't do that.
Oh, okay. So then you made the claim that we've done the exact same thing. That was objectively false. Do you agree?
Sure. So Dean, when you were on the live yesterday and the person said they were starving because their parents wouldn't give them money, and then your whole chat decided to say W mom, did you call out anybody on that, or did you keep moving forward blaming that girl?
Oh, wait, I just want to clarify. Are you talking about Avery, the person that told everybody watching the live to off themselves?
Push the galaxy.
No, the person that came on there that said that their mom wouldn't help them with money, and she's rich and she's a Democrat. And you said that's what Democrats don't do. But she gave you an instance in which it was happening.
You are talking about Avery. Yeah, you're talking
I'm
about
talking
Avery.
about
the
the
person,
person-
the person that
talking
came.
about
Yeah,
the
one
person
second.
that-
You're talking about Avery, the person that came on my live and literally said that with every Democrat that DIEs, the world becomes a slightly better place, and was directly telling like the viewers of my live to off themselves and calling
that's not
them
what she
fat
said when
ass
she came on.
bitcheses. And by the way, yes, I did say something to the chat at first. Yeah, of course I did.
This guy's so dishonest. Like, this is one of the most dishonest guests I've ever had on my live stream.
Why would I lie about that? Why? What would I gain from lying about that?
Well, this whole time you've been doing that. You just said that Donald Trump didn't engage in racism after all the things that wait, can you agree with us that Donald Trump has engaged in racism?
Sure.
Okay, so you said that racists, people who have engaged in racism before, should not be platformed. Therefore, you don't think he should be president, right?
Okay, yeah, that's my point with Dean. Then I don't.
Wait,
think he should
wait,
be
stop.
Yeah, that's my
You just
point. But you're
wait. So you agree?
justifying one circumstance and not another.
So you agreed Trump shouldn't be president?
Sure. I don't think he's representative.
This is what gets him to concede.
He did. By the way, he didn't concede. He didn't say he's going to stop supporting Donald Trump, even though he literally believes that he raped E. Jean Carroll.
You're trying to catch me right now, and it's not going to work.
You did. You just got destroyed.
No, I did
You
not.
literally just did.
You just conceded the fucking
It's
topic
funny,
of
it's
debate,
so funny
buddy.
how you were getting so upset earlier. Calling me
Yes,
a
I am upset. I am upset at people who think that it's okay to support Donald Trump, even though he's raped kids.
You literally just said
That
to
was
me
the
earlier-
hypothetical brought up to the last guest, and that's why I was angry.
You said I was not one of the people. It was the people beforehand. Get your
Yes.
story straight, man.
Wait, yes,
Get your
yes. I want to be clear. The reason why I was angry was the person beforehand, and it carried over into the conversation with you because you were defending the same thing.
Bro, I was not defending.
You were defending supporting Donald Trump, even though he raped E. Jean Carroll.
Parker, what did I come up and ask you initially? What did I come up and ask you? If you even remember.
Yeah, you asked me, I think, originally about the last guest, specifically making claims about children. You were asking me why I was bringing up children in this conversation because you were saying I was sick for bringing up children.
Yeah.
Which
And
was
said
I
you
explained.
keep- you
Wait,
keep
wait.
on
What
doing
was my
this and I asked you
What was my
evidence.
explanation? What was my explanation for bringing up hypotheticals that relate to children?
You said that you think you have evidence enough because of the cases.
No,
that
no,
have
no, no, no.
happened.
What was the reason why we brought it up in hypothetical in comparison
Well,
to the E. Jean Carroll case?
The reason you brought it up is because you brought an extreme measure to try and prove him wrong when he got you on the argument. That's why. That's
So
why
you could not represent what I said again after I've told you like 8 times, okay? I'm going to say it one more time. We are bringing up, and this is the explicit reason, is that, again, you should be able to see that this is a disqualifying thing in both scenarios, whether the victim's an adult and the victim's a child. And we are trying to show people that you have no reason to differentiate and say that in one scenario it's disqualifying, but not in the other one. And that's the relevant difference that we're looking for.
It's bad in both circumstances. Like, this is not a gotcha. It's
No,
not.
but like, is it disqualifying in both scenarios? It should have been. And by the way, you said it wasn't. You said that you would still support Donald Trump because you wanted to still support the party, even though you believe Donald Trump raped E. Jean Carroll, right? But again, Donald Trump, you just conceded you would not support him for president, correct?
my mic off because you want to just spew your
No.
own.
Would you again? I want you to say it one more time. You don't
Yeah,
support Donald Trump for president, correct?
No, I don't support him if he does that. No.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna kick him. I'm going to the next person. Jesus Christ. Holy shit, Dean. Oh my God.
Yeah, how's your day going, man?
I'm like actually going crazy. I'm like actually going fucking nuts.
Yeah,
I'm like,
well, I realized something yesterday,
What's
and
that?
maybe it's worth sharing this truth nuke with you. When there's somebody on the live
that's just that insufferable. There's nothing stopping you from just kicking them.
Yeah.
Like, I realized that one yesterday. There's nothing stopping you. You could just kind of kick them. You just kind of move on.
I feel like this mental pressure to keep going and to keep debunking them, because I think it's important to debunk them and to continue. And I get so caught up in everything that's happening that I can't even tell myself that.
No, me too, man. Me too. I completely understand. Yesterday, I had like the craziest person alive on for like an hour. And around an hour into the conversation, I made that mental realization that I could just kind of kick him.
Dude, I just like I'm actually like, it's really hard. It's really fucking hard to go through this. Like, it really is. I try to keep it in as much as I can because I don't like being branded as overly emotional as like what the last guest is trying to fucking do. But it's like, I literally cannot prevent myself from having an emotional response to people saying that. I can't. I genuinely can't prevent myself. It's like actually impossible for me. Like, I don't even know how to fucking say this. It's just, it fucking hurts inside so much. And it's like, I can't even express that to other people. And I know it comes off as like I'm angry and I'm mad at people and I'm like yelling and stuff, but it's like, I don't know how I could respond to that without doing that at all. Like, I genuinely don't. Like, I'm like, actually, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm like close to breaking down right now. Like, I'm actually am. Like, I don't like acknowledging that I'm overly emotional or that I'm super emotional in circumstances, but I'm actually so fucking close to breaking down. Because it's
you know, just like take yourself out of like this context of running like a live stream on TikTok to debate people on why they support Trump, and just like put yourself into like the context of just like an interpersonal conversation that you're having with somebody. Maybe you like ran across in public or as a member of your family, and then having to like sit there and listen to them say, right, like all these like incredibly heinous things. Like, it's a very like normal and typical reaction to like want to like maybe break down. And, you know, I've been there before too, man. I remember maybe like a month and a half ago at this point, I had a mom and daughter come up on stream, and both of them just sat there defending Donald Trump, walking backstage into the changing rooms. They said that it was completely fine, it was normal. And I think that, you know, like I even like shed a tear because of that shit. And, you know, after that, I've kind of begun to experience this subconscious the subconscious like realization of what's like a good word, desensitization almost to these conversations, and that's allowed me to keep a little bit more of a level head. But that desensitization that I've subconsciously begin to experience because I have these conversations so frequently is like probably not a good thing, right? It's good to have a high level of sensitivity to people like literally defending rapists. It's good to have a high level of sensitivity to people arguing in support of these things or being sympathetic to these things. And it doesn't just make you human, but it makes you a good human.
I need a second. Do you have the ability to have people up?
Yeah, man. You want to take a break? All right, guys, we're going to go and get that next guest loaded up into the box, guys. Only up inside of that queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president. We're going to get that next guest up here right now. Just make sure that you're following the rules of the live, everybody. You got to be at least 18 years of age. You got to be an American, and you got to be an adult. So everybody just, you know, do give us a moment here. We're going to go to get that next guest, Jenny, loaded up into the box right now, everyone. All right. What's going on, Jenny? Do you support Trump? Jenny, hello? All right, Jenny's not here. Everyone, just give me a second. All right, we got the next guest loaded up into the box right now. Everyone, just do be patient while we're trying to get that next Trump supporter loaded up into the box. Everyone, just do be patient. Yo, Dean. What's going on, JD? Support Trump? Hey, yeah, I do. Listen, hey, Dean, I was just on here a minute ago. Do you know what? Let me tell you something, all right? Let me explain something to you. Do you know what the truth? Well, if you were just on here a minute ago, I'm going to go ahead and move on, man, even though I haven't personally spoken to you.
Parker's audience has already heard you, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the next guest. What's up, John? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, this is the reason why Trump won, man. You guys are too emotional. You're literally making a living making debates on TikTok, and you're upset and you're both crying over a debate. This is why Trump won the election.
So, John, I'd love to give you my response to that, but I feel like you're going to leave before I can. And I'm always right. You know what, John? Something I'd recommend is if you're going to try to make a point, all right, at least make that point seem defensible by being willing to stick around to hear me out for my response. Now, the fact that you tucked the tail in between your legs and was actually able to predict your run before it even happened is very telling of the validity of the claim in which you made. And, you know, arguably, right, one of the reasons that Trump won the election is because too many people don't care about these things, right? Too many people don't care about the sexual exploitation of little girls, naked women, rape of women too, abuse and belittlement of women. And I mean, if you want to come up here and have a conversation, feel free to hop inside of that queue. But I know that you're just a scared, spineless little runner, right? Obviously, you're not going to entertain a conversation with somebody about 10 to, I don't know, to be fair here, 25 times as intelligent as you are. But, you know, if you ever come to the realization that you want to be humbled, right, that you want to grow as a person, become better, feel free to hop back into guest requests. What's going on, Michael? Do you support Trump?
Yo, Dean, why do you refuse to talk about neo-libertarian phalangism?
Dude, it's you. I've talked to you about it like 3 times.
Dean, like, I've literally talked to you.
Bad. Moving on to the next guest, guys. We're going to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. We got Molly loading in. Make sure if you're in that queue that you're an American adult that's pro Trump. Hello, Molly. Do you support Trump?
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I was liking the live.
No worries at all. No worries at all. You take care, Molly. Moving on to the next guest, guys. We're going to go to get that next guest connected to the stream right now. We got Emily loading up. All right. We got the next guest connecting right now, everyone. Do just be patient. The more we get them loaded up into the live, guys. Okay, it doesn't look like Emily's connected. We're going to move on to the next guest right now. We got McKenna loading up into the box. Here we go. If you are MAGA, go ahead and hop inside of the queue. Hit that little multi-guest button on the bottom of your phone screen. Join the queue. By the way, for everybody curious, I don't have too high of a level of control over the live. I could kind of just add and kick guests and them too, but that's about it.
Dean, you're a joke. Don't kick me again, bro. I'm going to expose you. Don't kick me, bro.
Whoa, I didn't kick you the first time, buddy.
Yeah, you did. You did. I was on a different account. You guys don't like the truth. You guys don't like the truth. That's why you kick, bro. You're gonna kick me again.
I'm gonna turn on my camera, put my hands up in the air, so you know that I can't kick you.
All right, watch. Somebody's gonna kick me. Do you want to know the truth?
What's about to happen is you're gonna run. So
hey,
just to make it clear, Jay. Oh, Jay, one moment. Just to make it clear, I didn't kick you. You left the live stream, my friend. Now, in response to the second point. So you came up here, you said the reason why Donald Trump won the election is because people are too emotional. Well, if you check the exit polls from...
Okay, so let's get something right. You're talking to some...
Hey, Jay, I need you to prove to me that you're a non-emotional man by not interrupting somebody when they're cooking your ass. Right? You can't be sitting here saying that I'm too emotional, then you come up here...
You're not talking to the same person, dude.
Oh, this is a different person?
Yes, dude.
Okay, what did you say?
Hey, your boyfriend's back. Let me expose you guys on something real quick.
Wait, were you talking
what's
Parker?
funny? Yeah, You're gonna leave. You're gonna leave. Watch.
Oh, I don't even know who this guy is.
Yeah,
okay, it's a different person. It's a different Jay.
Yeah. You're gonna kick me, dude. Watch. Or Parker. What's funny? Listen, and look, Parker's already pissed because I exposed him a while ago. It's the truth. The truth is that this world's evil. You guys.
I'm pretty sure they were like trolling earlier. I don't know.
Well, I guess they're gone now. We're gonna go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. Hello, do you support Trump?
John, you're the reason the male loneliness epidemic exists.
Hey Dean, if you want to go start your live right now, I don't know if I could do another one, honestly.
Yeah, man, you're good to end. I could start heading in that direction, my friend. But feel free to end before I hop on, because it may take me about 10 minutes to get everything wrapped up here and whatnot.
I appreciate you, man.
Of course, dude. You have a great rest of your day. Do something fun. All right, man?
I'll try to.
Well, man. Take care, dude. Take care.
Thank you, man. I'll just wait a second before Dean starts his live. I don't like being like this on stream is just, it's really hard because it's like, it's hard to hide this feeling, but like, I don't know, I really wish the fucking country we lived in wasn't so fucking insane. Like, I really wish that this wasn't like a fucking normal conversation to have on the stream. I don't like doing this on stream right now. I'm really trying to keep it together right now, but like, I really wish that this wasn't I wish we could go back to just like typical fucking political conversations and not fucking crazy shit like this. It's so fucking polarized and crazy, and it's like, why do I even have to have a conversation with someone on the live about like the fact that they would still support someone even if someone assaulted children and has assaulted a woman? And it's just like, I really wish that people could just not fucking support someone so we don't even have to have fucking conversations like this. I don't want to go over this and keep doing this on stream. I really don't like doing this right now. I don't like having to explain why I'm feeling this way right now, but it's fucking crazy. It's so crazy, dude. And it's like, so sometimes it just like, it takes me over the edge, bro. I really don't want to do this on stream. I'm gonna end the stream. There's a lot of people I have to thank, but I don't know if I can go through this and do it all on stream. I just want to say thank you to everyone. I need a break. I'm gonna be done for today. Everyone, you can go check out Dean's stream. I would appreciate it if you go. Thank you, everyone. I'm just gonna get off right now. Have a good day, everyone. I will see everyone later. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for all the support too. I really don't like doing this on stream, but I love y'all so much. Have a good day, everyone.